last week we saw Glee's version of Christmas, which is really Glee's version of The Grinch, and Cullen kind of enjoyed it, and Hannah and Alyssa were really disappointed. And that's what you missed on Gleeboot.
Yay!
I forgot it was the Christmas episode last week.
Yeah, every time we do a new episode, I just kind of like jump around. My universe is jolted.
Yeah. Honestly, good thing you're in charge of this part of the podcast, because I would be like, we watched an episode last week.
Don't remember what it was. Don't remember what happened. It's almost
just
like
go back and listen.
I actually wrote the show and I didn't.
Yeah, it's like this is the experience coming into a new episode when you go to write it. If you're in the Glee writer's room, you just come in and you're like, what happened last week? Doesn't matter. Cool. I'm going to write.
Yeah, I almost summarized this episode. I'm like, football stuff. Then I'm like, wait, no, that was...
That's next week.
Yeah. So, we have a special guest with us. Oh, should we introduce ourselves? I'm Cullen.
Alyssa.
I'm Hannah.
And we have a special guest this week. Hannah's coworker and a fan of the pod, Anne.
Woo!
Hello. I'm very excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to talking about this shit show.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, part of the reason why I invited you onto this episode specifically was because it's sports.
Do you really want to call it sports?
I have a lot to say, and it may stun all of you, but no. So like in the first season, I remember us talking at work how I was like, there's this like sports thing happening, and you like explained it to me at work. I was like, you should be on one of the sports episodes.
I do.
And this is how it
Yes,
happened.
I remember listening to that episode and everyone talking about field goals or something really strange and nothing made sense.
And now you know why.
No, none of this
You were
makes sense.
listening to one of our episodes?
Yes. I was listening to.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
It was when Kurt joins the football team.
Yeah.
And they do a similar kind of thing, which Glee season 2 obviously didn't remember that episode happened. So yeah, they did that, and I was trying to explain it at work because you had watched the episode, and you were like, I don't understand either.
Yeah, no, it was a mess. Yeah. These writers have obviously never watched a football game in their lives, so that's okay.
Terrific.
Yeah, so this week we're talking about the Sylvester Shuffle, season 2, episode 11.
Something.
Yeah, I believe it's episode 11, and it aired right after the Super Bowl. Like, the Super Bowl ended and this episode of Glee began, so it was designed to pull in Super Bowl viewers. Hence all the...
That's really interesting.
Football and sports talk.
So, actually, I should have looked this up before, but what year was that Super Bowl? Was it 2012?
2011.
2011 Super Bowl. Okay, let's Google this. I should have done this before. We clearly research every episode.
Well, I just know that the scene of Darren Criss singing Bills, Bills, Bills suddenly just would make zero...
Not jarring at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
To a post-Super Bowl viewer who's like, oh, this show's about high school. Then suddenly kids in blazers are singing. And you're like, where did these characters come from?
Who are they?
So it was the Packers versus the Steelers. Ooh. And the halftime show was the Black Eyed Peas, Usher, and Slash.
Oh, boy.
I don't remember that at all. That's great.
Oh. So, what are we drinking today?
I am drinking the classic Glee and tea. I think I drank that last week. It's just delicious. Also, I think I'm going to be posting a recipe post about it, because maybe some people don't know about Glee and tea.
What is this? I haven't heard of this.
Oh, it's a gin and tonic, but I call it, instead of a G&T, a Glee&T, and this is why I need to make a post
I
about
love
it.
it.
Yes.
People are confused.
Okay, what is involved in a gin and tonic?
Okay, so basically, I put some ice in a glass. And then, kind of like that Sandra Lee Vine, where she's like, an ounce of vodka, glug, glug, glug. I do that with the gin. And then I pour some tonic water on it. But today it's a little special because I did lime gin and then a hint of lime Canada Dry tonic water. Yeah, so it was a little bit lime Glee&T.
Nice.
But yeah, that's a
Like a
Glee&T.
Glyman tea. Nope, actually, nope, that's not it at all.
We're gonna support everything
I'm
you
so
say.
sorry.
That's what's
I
happening.
apologize.
No. I like it.
What are you drinking, Anne?
I am just drinking a big old glass of bourbon, honestly. After
Nice.
watching this episode, I was like, "Oh boy, all right, this is the kind of day that I'm gonna have." All right,
Gotta break the bourbon out.
so it's a nice glass of Old Forester Neat.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna pretend I know what that means.
It means no ice, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wow. I learned something
On the
today.
rocks is with ice. Neat is without ice.
Okay. Good to know.
Mm.
Now I can sound really official and adult at the bar. Can I have this neat? Don't spill it, please.
Shirley Temple, niece.
Yes. What about you guys?
Okay. I am drinking like a similar thing as you, Hannah, but I don't think it's an actual, it probably is an actual drink somewhere. Basically, it's dry gin, dry vermouth, tonic water, but I did an actual half a lime squeezed and muddled with some mint leaves.
Oh.
It's
Wow.
really
Yeah, so you did
good.
like a gin and tonic with vermouth. That's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I forgot I didn't have limes when I made this, and I was like, who's gonna know? But then I just told you, so.
It's really,
Yeah.
really yummy, actually. I think
I've
it's
never
my
had
favorite
vermouth.
drink.
Hmm.
It's I guess it depends on I don't know how to explain it. You're gonna have to try it.
Okay.
I'm having a drink I like to call Cullen is panicking. It is a very small amount of triple sec and a lemon wedge thrown in.
What?
Okay, so behind this
Cullen is panicking. I like it.
is Cullen was writing down the storyline for this episode 5 minutes before.
Panicking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had already cut up lemon wedges because I bought a ton of lemons at the store, and have been putting them in my water, so they were sitting on the counter. So triple sec with lemon wedge already on the counter.
Yeah.
So, is it good?
I wish it was colder.
You didn't even put ice in it?
No, it was already
Oh,
past.
you have it neat? A triple sec with lemon
Yes.
neat. I'll have a Cullen is panicking neat.
It was already past 3:30, and I was like, I can't be. I need to be ready. Need to be on.
That's terrific. I love that. We're definitely gonna do a recipe card for that.
Yes. So, Anne, besides listening to Gleeboot, what really is your relationship with Glee?
Okay, so when Glee was still on air, I used to watch it with my mom. Oh my gosh, that must have been so long ago. So, I got to, I think, as far as the fourth season before I got real tired of its shit. So, I don't remember this episode at all. I don't remember anything surrounding it. So this is kind of like a fresh new experience for me.
Nice.
Yeah, so you've made it farther than us.
Yes. Yes.
I have seen parts of season 4, but I don't remember any of the episodes in between them. Like this episode, I also did not remember.
Yes.
I do remember this episode. It wormed its way into my heart.
What?
So, okay.
You have
I
heartworms?
have. Oh no.
Glee is a heartworm.
I have a controversial statement that I'm going to get off my chest right off the bat. And that controversial statement is I loved this episode top to bottom.
Okay.
Whoa.
I had a great time. That is like probably the only time this is ever going to happen. But I loved it.
Aww.
I know, isn't that weird? I know, this is so weird. I don't know why, and literally 90% of my notes are like, oh my god, this is amazing, this is hilarious. Like, I don't know why.
They had
Maybe
a
it was
lot
that
of...
I had coffee for the first time in weeks.
No, this episode actually, I feel like, had a lot of really good physical humor.
Yeah, there was, okay, so another thing is that I love, like, cheesy sports drama, like, movies, like, Remember the Titans, all those kind of movies. I love those.
I'm working on one of those right now.
Which is weird because I don't even like sports that much and don't know a lot about them. But there's something about that that gets me. And this has a bit of that. And I don't know. I was just like, this is amazing. I love this. This is great drama. So yeah.
Alyssa, did you say you were working through one of those right now?
Yeah, I am in post-production. I work on visual effects for things. I'm working on a cheesy sports movie right now.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't actually know if I can say anything about it, but just know it's happening.
It's out there.
Yes.
I'll keep an eye out. Yeah, this episode for me, because I watched a few episodes to kind of get up to speed, and this one wasn't as cringy as the ones that I watched.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
For sure. Yeah.
Like I watched the Rocky Horror episode.
Oh.
Yes. I could not believe everyone was terrible, and then watching this one I was like, "Oh, this is pretty tame."
Maybe that's what it is. Like this surrounded by all that other garbage. I'm like, this is so good.
Well, the interesting thing is, like, we've had other tame, quote unquote, episodes, but they were also boring.
Yes.
And this was not that.
Yeah. This kept me engaged the whole time. The second those cheerleaders had sparkly bras to the very end, when whatever happened. I don't even remember the end.
Who cares about the end?
We'll get there.
Yeah.
At the end.
It was not a bad episode. I don't think it was my favorite, but I enjoyed it. It was fun.
I think this is my favorite.
I don't even know. I have to pick a favorite? I don't want to pick a favorite.
You don't have to pick a favorite.
Okay, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, pick a favorite right now.
No!
Also, I don't know, did everyone play along with the Glee bingo? Because I did, and I got bingo.
I think I got a bingo too.
We were
but
we didn't get a bingo.
I got a diagonal from top left to bottom right.
Are all of
Tina's in the background?
No, I was just wondering if they're all the
same.
Great.
Yeah, so for up to these episodes, they're all the
Okay.
same.
Maybe. Let's see.
It goes to like episode 14, so hopefully for episode 15 we gotta get on that and make a new one.
Well,
but yeah, Tina's in the background. They make a gay joke. Will Schuster's face. Becky appears, and then they refer to the Glee Club as New Directions.
Do they?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, Will Schuster goes introducing New Directions.
Oh, now we have a bingo. Actually, now we have 2 bingos.
Yeah.
Well, you have 2 bingos?
Yes.
We have
What? How?
someone kisses someone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quinn is mean to someone.
When is she mean to somebody?
Oh.
She...
Oh, unless it spoils it.
Well, I
She
mean,
makes a comment to Sue at the beginning.
Yeah, she's mean to Sue at the
okay.
beginning.
Okay.
True, she
yeah.
is. You're right.
Sue changes motivations.
True, that does happen. You're right.
Coach Beast says a weird saying.
She has
Yeah.
a lot of weird sayings.
Oh yeah.
It's strange.
And then we
Also,
also got the
she'll-
bingo that you got.
Nice. You got so technically everyone gets double bingo, but yeah, I got that one bingo. You guys got that other bingo. Nice.
So does double bingo make like a double drink, or like how does this work?
Yeah, if that's what you want to reward yourself with, you certainly can.
The
Pour some more
the
bourbon.
official prize is double satisfaction.
Oh, I was gonna say that you watched an episode of Glee.
Good job.
But yeah, yay, bingo. Ugh, I love this. It actually keeps me from stopping the episode because I just gotta plow through them. But honestly, I didn't want to stop this episode.
But we don't have to make a whole new bingo board. All we have to do is shuffle the tiles around. Then they'll be
Ooh, true.
different.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
All right, so are we ready to jump right into this plot?
I think so.
Let's do it.
So this episode is a series of plots, mainly Finn.
Like all episodes,
all
are a
episodes.
series of
A
plots.
series of plots. It's Finn and the football team is like our A plot, and it's most of the plot. We also have Sue, and we have Bills.
Yeah.
the one.
That's a good way to put it.
Is that a plot? Can that be? Is that categorizable? Wow.
Categorizable?
Yes, is that a word?
Maybe
Sure.
it is now.
We need it. Okay, we're Shakespeare. Is that
The first
categorizable
LGBT.
as an actual plot?
According to a gridding system given to me by one of my professors in grad school, you would
Yes.
use Bills, like Bill. They'd all be, each plot would be a different color, and like Bills doesn't fit into either of plots, so it would be a third color.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Bills is a great way to put it because that's kind of the center point. But I guess like you could say Kurt and Blaine because they hop in for what, maybe 2 episodes and then they're at the game.
Yeah, they're
That's
they're
it.
in this scene with Rachel and Mercedes, but it's still part of the football plot.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bills is its separate thing.
It opens
jump in.
with the Katy Perry iconic Americana classic, California Girls. With, but instead of it's
wigs.
with blue wigs and like hula hoops and firework bras.
But this isn't the Glee Club that's actually doing it. It's the Cheerios. Fun fact, Cheerios has an explanation point at the end. Didn't know this.
In the
What does it?
Yeah, in the subtitles.
Because we have the subtitles on all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
so
so
all of a
weird.
sudden I was like, wait a second. Cheerios
I wonder if it's
is a
like
proper
a
noun.
copyright thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that's probably why. So like I think in the actual like show they never do that, but yeah, that makes sense for like the subtitles. That's so funny. So now we have to go Cheerios every time we say Cheerios.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh my god, the cat is right outside my closet door. I can see her shadow. I'm gonna stick my fingers under there.
All right. So
Anyway.
it opens with the Cheerios, but the football plot is the following scene. And that opens with they're playing football. And they're like, we don't need to win this game, but we're almost going to win it. Next game is the championship game. And Krosky makes some comment, oh, do you want to sing a song about it afterwards? And Finn is like, chill out. Why have you been on me? And he's like, oh, I figured I got your butt buddy, Kurt, to leave. So I might as well get you to leave if I keep on you.
Hold. Can we go back to the Cheerios scene for a minute?
Oh.
The Cheerios scene for a minute.
No, because I accidentally started with
Are
that
you
scene
gonna
and
wanna
we should have
talk
waited till
about
the Sue plot.
The chicken cutlets that they slap each other with?
We'll have to loop back to that if we're starting with the football
Wait.
thing.
Okay, are we?
I have so much to say about that.
So the Cheerios scene is in Soup Lot.
Yeah, I just
Yes.
got excited to talk about California Girls, and I started with it. Then I'm like, wait, no, we need to start with the football plot.
You
That's-
have to
Football
inform
plot.
us of these internal decisions that you make.
We are switching gears. Football only.
Okay,
This-
football plot.
I'm changing motivations, just like Sylvester. Yeah, so Karofsky is trying to get Finn to leave by bullying him, and Finn makes some comment about, you always call people gay, but you never have a girlfriend, and then Karofsky's mad. And then he's like, it's a shame if you got sacked. And then so Finn freaks out and fumbles the ball, and the football team loses the game.
But that's okay because they did need to win the game to go to the next round, and that's fine, I guess.
I
Is
don't.
that how it works?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And
this is
unofficial sports
this is some high
correspondent.
school shit. I don't really know. All I know is the note that I took about this is that no huddle is that fucking long. That was insane.
Right?
That was like a
Their huddles are
5-minute
so
long huddle when it really should have just been like, hey guys, let's not fuck this up. Let's kneel. So just snap it and kneel and be done with the goddamn game. Sorry, the stupid game. I don't know what the swearing is on this. It doesn't matter.
We swear.
It's whatever you want.
Do whatever the fuck
Okay.
you want.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't know. That seems like a thing that might happen in Ohio. I'm not really sure. Perfect. Great.
Don't ask me just because I'm from Ohio. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wait, speaking of states, Anne, you had a fun Hoosier fact
Oh
for
boy.
us.
Okay, so the last released episode that I heard, you guys were talking about Midwestern states, and Indiana came out, and it doesn't make any sense why Hoosiers, like why they would be called Hoosiers at all. It still really doesn't after trying to explain to Hannah why, like there are some possible theories for why they're called Hoosiers. So the first one that I wholly support is that after some major battle in Indiana somewhere, some guy on a battlefield picked up like a stray human ear and called out, "Whose ear? Whose ear?"
Wait, are you a fellow Hoosier?
So I grew up in southern Indiana, right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. They call the area Kentuckyana.
Is this the area that is like more hilly?
We didn't really have a lot of hill. I don't think it. No,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay.
Anyway, the second theory is that when people used to knock on each other's doors in Indiana, the homeowner would go, "Who's here?" So it's just whatever you want to do with that information. That's totally fine. Either way, Indianians are still called Hoosiers, so there's that.
I'm gonna go with
Nice.
the ear cut off.
Oh,
one, 'cause
yeah.
that's funnier.
For sure.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
That was an Anne's
This is
corner.
Anne's corner.
First time.
No, just kidding. Please don't make that a thing. That's terrifying.
Whenever we have a sports question or a question about
We're
Indiana.
just gonna go
Please,
with
yes. I'm here. Snaps.
Our
Quarterbacks.
unofficial sports and Hoosier correspondent, Anne.
Yes.
So Coach Beast is mad at the team because she's like, what happened out there? And Krosky's like, Finn is like, Krosky sucks, that's what happened. And Krosky's like, you couldn't take a joke about his precious Glee Club. And he's like, why are you always honest about being in Glee Club? And the team basically erupts into a big fight.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens. I don't have anything about that. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Like-
think of something.
I feel like Karofsky is saying a lot of garbage stuff for the fact that, one, he bragged about getting Kurt to move, and two, that like Coach Beast hears some of this, like other people hear it, like other teachers. So like he's still saying really inflammatory stuff and nothing's happening.
Well,
So I feel
he
like
doesn't brag about getting.
The writers are letting him do whatever.
He doesn't brag about getting Kurt to move during that fight, right? It's when they're in the game.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying like overall, like there are teachers around who should say something, be like you keep doing this, you're gonna get punished, but like the writers don't find that convenient. So like I don't know. It feels really, really awful to have to hear Karofsky keep saying this kind of stuff.
I mean, he is like the ringleader, so you gotta wonder if he would quote unquote be made an example of and get kicked off the football team because of all of his behavior or attitude or whatever.
Mhm.
Would there still be a problem?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Hmm.
Maybe in the Gleeboot we can explore it.
Whoa. We're just gonna
Nice.
kick him off the football team.
Bye.
Bye.
You're gone.
Yeah. So Coach Beast is talking to Will afterwards and is like, the team is in shambles. I've never seen a team less unified. And Will is like, they've been going really hard on the Glee Club. And so they decide that they're going to try and unify the football team.
Okay.
Was that when they were in the teacher's lounge?
Yes.
She's eating an entire fucking roast chicken.
Okay. That's
was
what
so
I was
mad.
So jealous.
Wait.
That's one of the things I noticed. 2, he's like, "Do you trust me?" Which everyone should answer, absolutely not.
No.
But then she goes, "You're not gonna kiss me again, are you?" And I'm like, why are we bringing up this awful,
I
awful
missed
memory?
that line.
You missed that. That was one thing that I like latched onto. I actually
Yes.
laughed because I was like, "Oh my gosh, they made her self-aware." That's
I-
great.
She evolved
was
to her next
upset.
level.
I felt triggered.
I thought it was great because I think she like acknowledged the fact that he probably shouldn't have done that in the first place.
That's true.
Yeah.
It does have that air.
Yeah. He says, "Do you trust me?" which is Aladdin's line. Aladdin owns it. Just saying.
Now as a Disney property, they can get away with it.
You just can't do it better than Aladdin. You can stop trying, Will Schuester. And we see Artie get slushied by a bunch of football players.
Not in the teacher's lounge. We have shifted gears.
Yeah, we've shifted
Out into the hallway.
Out into the hallway. Artie's like, what about the moral implications of bullying a kid in a wheelchair? And I'm like, these kids put you in a porta potty a season ago.
Yep.
Also, Artie is kind of
And
a
then
piece of shit, so I don't really feel bad for him being bullied.
Thank you.
Yeah. I didn't feel bad, but I oddly laughed, and I probably shouldn't have, when the one guy was like, "I believe in equality for all," and then they dumped the slushies on him, and I was like, that was kind of funny. I don't know why I'm laughing.
But honestly, like, he kind of has a point.
Yeah, he's like,
Artie, like, just because you're in a wheelchair, do you think other people shouldn't bully? Well, nobody should bully.
I'm
what I'm
wondering
saying is-
if we want to
I
go
mean,
down this
if
path.
Artie
No,
can
what I'm
bully,
saying-
then why can't other people bully him? Like, he's kind of an asshole, so somebody pour some
Yeah,
fucking slushy on
true.
him.
True. Does somebody deserve to get bullied? No.
No.
Never.
But I
Okay,
fully
thank you.
support your reasoning.
I'm stressed.
you're panicking. Drink your triple sec.
Why are you stressed out, Cullen?
I was upset by this scene. It was upsetting to watch.
Because they, like, surrounded him or what?
Yeah, he surrounded him and he couldn't really, like,
Escape.
yeah. And he just seemed so small and they all seem so big. Yeah, I felt bad for him. But Artie is generally an asshole.
Yes.
But I did feel bad for him. And he goes into the choir room and Tina says, "Oh my gosh, like, Artie." So she has a line.
That was a great line read.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm auditioning to play Tina in the Glee booth.
You are hired.
And so he's followed by the football team who just came from bullying Artie, and Will is all like, "Welcome to our previously safe space. You're all now all part of the Glee Club."
Yeah.
Chaos erupts.
Like,
Yeah.
Rachel says, "I'm not sharing a choir room with a known homophobe." And it's kind of a good point in that, like, this is supposed to be their area to get away from the football team who has, like, the whole school. Yeah. And now the football team is in their own area making fun of them.
Yeah, I actually didn't even think about that, like, the safe space idea.
But why did she point out that he was a homophobe? I mean, okay.
Because she has 2 gay dads.
Didn't you also forget that he was homophobic? He hasn't said a homophobic comment at all this episode. What are you talking about?
That is true. But, like, Kurt's no longer there. Okay, and if the football team, and this is gonna sound really selfish, and I know it, but if Kurt's not there and the football team is still actively picking on Glee members, wouldn't you go straight to the fact that they're bullying us, not they bullied the person who left the school?
I think Rachel was not selfish for like 10 moments of her in her life.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with Alyssa that, like, I feel like her first reaction would be like focused on who's in the room, but I guess because later they go and meet Kurt, like, somehow they've become really close friends. I don't know. It seems a lot of
later
confusion. Yeah, it just, because I can't necessarily say that, like, everyone would remember that Rachel has 2 gay dads.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't remember that.
So yeah, it does. I don't know. I feel like it does kind of like, it's like, remember Kurt?
Well, yeah, it's like slightly strange because she's talking about, number one, a single person, and number two, all of
they're
these
all
other
homophobic.
People. Well, I mean, yeah,
they all say like really awful things. Like, should have been like a bunch of known homophobes.
Was it just
including Puck and Santana?
Wasn't it?
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
And they're all...
Oh my god, you right.
Was it just that, what's the large football player who's gay, closet gay? What's his name? Karofsky, thank you. Was it just because, like, he's the one that's specifically targeting Kirk, but, like she felt the need to single him out specifically?
I'm guessing.
Probably.
That is, I think, the intention, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he did bully Kurt in such a scary way. Like, he's less Disney villain in this, like, less scary in this episode. They're trying to humanize him a bit, but in some episodes he's been really scary.
I mean, would it not make more sense to have her say something like, all of you bully us incessantly, and you, points to Karofsky, made one of us leave this school permanently?
Yeah, but then wouldn't you have to, like, have, like, decent writing, or how does that work?
Yeah, there you
go. Yeah, so the Glee Club is upset, and the football team is upset, but Beast is like, if you quit, you're kicked off the football team, so you have to be in Glee Club for a week. And Puck and Rachel are then invited to sing a duet that they've been working on, and they sing Need You Now by Lady Antebellum.
I hated this part of the episode, for sure.
There's so much that I was just, like, furiously taking notes, like, why? Why does this exist?
I didn't mind it.
Wait, is this...
What was there, like, I don't know if, like, I was just super biased against it because I don't like Lady Antebellum, but, like, is there, like, a good redeeming factor to the scene that, like, I missed?
I have Anne's same question. The only thing that I liked was really briefly, I saw Beast in the background. It wasn't in, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, sharp. It was still in the background, but, like, I saw her kind of singing along, which I thought was kind of cute. But other than that, literally the second I heard the song start, it was like, oh, this is awful. But I was mostly confused, like, why are Rachel and Puck like hanging
But I
out?
think they end
didn't
up
realize was
explaining
a
that
thing.
later.
Later,
Yeah, but I
yeah.
just feel like, I don't know.
It was
If like they're trying to get this football team excited about being part of Glee, why didn't they choose anything else?
yeah,
True.
literally anything more fun. They could have done, Ice Ice Baby again, and I'd be like, you know what? This is probably an okay choice.
Okay, but hot take here. I think
Oh,
Puck's voice and Rachel's voice go really well together.
really?
Yeah, I think it goes. Their voices go much better together than Finn and Rachel's ever will.
Interesting. Interesting. I think Rachel, so Leah Michelle, who plays Rachel, she's really good at sort of like mimicking styles, even though there is a lot of theatricality in her voice. I feel like she did a good job with this song, making it a bit more sort of, I'm going to say country esque. But yeah, I'm going to say their voices definitely go well together in this song. I don't remember what else they've ever sang together, if they have. Yep. The rest of the show is completely out of my mind.
I've always hated that song, but I kind of like their cover. Leah Michelle is my favorite HelloFresh representative.
Oh boy.
Is she really a HelloFresh representative?
Whoa.
Is she an influencer on Instagram?
All my Facebook and Instagram is blown up with Leah Michelle HelloFresh ads because they know I watch Glee, because they know I follow Gleeboot.
Wow.
I'm sorry to any
Allyssa.
listeners out there who get those ads because they listen to Gleeboot.
Well,
It's not
I
our
do not.
fault. I'm
So
sorry.
there's got to be something else.
I also follow Leah Michelle on Instagram.
There you go. That's
okay,
it.
that could be it.
That is it.
I don't think Gleeboot follows Leah Michelle. We probably should. Maybe we'll get some of those ads and then we can just like them.
Yeah. She's pregnant.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep getting
She
Google keeps giving me articles that have to do with Glee. They listen to you.
Oh.
This is a real thing.
Yeah,
This is for sure,
people.
yeah,
They
taking
do.
over your life. Like, before you know it, you're just gonna be,
Well, I mean, an example of them actually listening would be when I watched like a bunch of Bollywood movies in a row, and then I got some articles in Hindi that I couldn't
I
read.
have a lot of
Interesting.
questions about that seem like they need to be for a different podcast. Like,
All right, spin-off
I'm just
podcast
wondering,
with
like,
Anne.
Bollywood with Allyssa seems to be like a thing that needs to happen, probably.
I
Oh my
second
goodness.
I second that.
I don't know. I'll think about that one.
We'll start with a bonus episode where we watch Smash's 1001 Nights.
Triggered.
Is
I'm
that
so
even
triggered.
Bollywood? No.
It's not.
But it's a Bollywood number. It's Bollywood-esque. And it's awful.
Oh boy.
Anyway, we're talking about Glee.
I also had a question. I don't know if this has come up in other episodes, but what's up with like the full band in the background for like every single
Ugh.
song? Like that creepy, weird high school band, and then the older dude on the piano just like really stressed me out.
They're
so
always
glad you
there.
asked.
Yeah.
Always.
I think season 2, we have talked about them a lot in previous episodes because like we just noticed them. There's a guy who I call Bobo Jackson from Hannah Montana because he's got this long hair and like a
Yes,
stupid
I
face,
remember you talking
and he
about
plays
that.
bass.
Yes. Okay, but he's not actually the guy from Hannah Montana, right? Okay, I've
No,
never
but
watched
he
Hannah
looks
Montana,
like
so I have no idea. All right. Okay, great. Perfect. I'm going to add that to my notes.
Watch Hannah Montana.
No. Oh, no. Sorry.
On Disney Plus, indie subscriber, or indie streaming service.
Indie streaming service Disney Plus, support them. Yeah, and then the guy who's on the piano, I think so. Our theory is that like in the Gleeboot, the band will become like either like actual side characters, or we're gonna have one episode dedicated to them and their struggles.
I love it.
With being with
Yes.
the Glee Club.
Yes.
So yeah, the guy who's on the piano, I'm just gonna say it. He's probably like the orchestra teacher or something, and
Yeah.
he's just like always at the piano, and then the Glee Club comes in, and he tried to leave one time, and they were like, "No, we need you because Shu cannot play piano," and
This
that's
should
how it
have been an
happened.
episode that they did. This is great.
Shu is the
It's in the
devil,
Gleeboot.
and he has the piano man's soul in a contract.
Jesus.
I love this idea. I love this. Somebody write this. This is great.
All right, it's happening right now.
Yeah. So they sing "Need You Now," and then this guy whose name I know because of subtitles is Asimo, the like,
That's his name?
yeah,
The black guy, right?
The guy who's like,
yeah.
yeah, the girl with the guitar had a nice voice or something.
And then
like that.
Puck is like, "Oh, very funny." Then he tries to hit him with the guitar, and it erupts into a fight.
I laughed so
Yes.
hard. I was like, that's
Yes.
really fucking funny. He's like, "Oh, that's nice." It's so good.
Well, you see Rachel too is like uses the piano to push herself up and kick.
Yes.
It's just this funny fight scene, and they're like, "Oh, this is a great first day."
Yeah, you're like, I think it was Alyssa who said like, this has a lot of really good physical comedy.
It does. It's
Yeah, for sure.
surprisingly good in that respect. Like I don't remember ever having seen an episode that had this much physical comedy in it, like
Right.
consistently.
I wonder who the director was.
That's
I was
what
just gonna look
thinking.
that up.
Yeah.
Look at that. Okay, let's see.
Yeah. So while you look that up, there's Puck and Finn have a scene together where they're like, "We used to be best friends," and Puck's like, "And then I got your girlfriend pregnant and made out with the other girlfriend," and Finn's like, "Yeah." He's like, "But let's be bros again. We got to prove that these Glee studs should be at top of the school." And they're like, "Okay." But Finn's like, "And how come you sang that song with Rachel?" And it cuts to Rachel running into the choir room. "I need you to sing this song with me to make Finn jealous." And he's just like, "I don't know why." I thought it was really funny timing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
Good
made me
timing.
laugh.
Good time.
Speaking of good timing, Brad Falchuk, who is one of the creators of the show, directed this episode.
How many other episodes has he directed?
A lot, I'm pretty
So
sure.
many.
Yes, in the first
Yeah.
season?
Yeah, a couple in the first season, probably.
Which
But
ones,
yeah.
though? I want to see if they have any similarities or like.
Let's see. Brad Falchuk. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'll research.
All right. Researching as we go.
Husband of Gwyneth Paltrow directed
What?
this episode.
Oh!
They're married. So Gwyneth Paltrow, do you know Gwyneth Paltrow was on the show, right?
I'm sorry.
You saw that episode?
I don't remember that at all. No.
Okay, so you may not have seen the episode. So Gwyneth Paltrow was on this show on Glee, and she met Brad Falchuk here, and they got married like a year or two ago.
Oh boy.
They're married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he is Mr. Gwyneth Paltrow.
yeah, he's Mr. Paltrow.
So after the scene with Puck, Finn, and Rachel, Sue comes in to the not the choir room, the locker room, and tells Beast. First she starts just throwing things, and we have a great moment of physical comedy when she's throwing the medicine balls, and then she reaches down to the heavier one and she can't throw it, and she's like, and like rolling and kicks it on the floor.
I laughed out loud. It's really hard to get me to laugh out loud at a Glee episode, and I laughed out loud at this one.
And so she just starts, so she's throwing stuff, and she's like, "I got Cheerios Nationals moved to the same week as your final football game, so you won't have anyone cheering for you. Good luck finding a halftime show." And then she like leaves, and they're just like, "What are we gonna do now?" And they have an idea.
Dun dun dun.
And that idea is for the football team to perform their own halftime show with the Glee Club.
So, are we going to talk about the
Wow.
canon at all and the weird Carney canon guy?
We're gonna get to the
Well-
canon guy when we talk about Sue.
Okay, great. Okay, so we can talk about how it's bananas that like their plot for making this work, like halftime in football in all of this mesh. This
Yeah,
doesn't make
it's
sense.
bananas.
This is utterly okay. You know what? I'm sorry.
No,
No.
tell us because we
This is
don't.
Hannah level rage,
We don't
and
have,
I love it.
I don't have any like basis for like what would be normal. So tell.
None of no. I mean, like, I feel like it's just normal. Like, if you have ever existed in the Midwest and gone to a high school football game, you know that nobody gives a shit about halftime shows, and it would be utterly insane for a football team to decide that instead of taking the break and recuperating and deciding like how they're going to take on the second half, like how they're going, like the strategy
Yeah.
that they're going to do, they're instead just going to do a halftime show. This is it doesn't make sense. That's it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. Isn't it usually like the band or something that
It's
does
the
halftime
band,
show?
it can be the
Yes.
Yeah.
cheerleaders, it can be literally anything else than the football players.
The
Like, the
majorette,
entire point of a
like
halftime show is not like the Black Eyed Peas. It's, you know, to get the football team to like be like, here's what happened this first half. Here's how we are going to deal with the second half.
Well, also they have to rest.
Yes,
I mean,
Yeah.
and
can
that
you
too.
imagine? Like, yeah, they played an entire first half, and now they're gonna go out and dance.
yeah.
I don't know.
Also, like on top of this, like we're talking about how they just need to rest and plan, but like we said, like cheerleaders, other people, it's almost as if, like we said before, that Glee has never seen a game of any sport before and they don't understand. And then the other thing is that like, so they worked backwards from the fact that, okay, this is going to air after the Super Bowl. What do people really care about with the Super Bowl? The performance at halftime. And they're like, okay, so high school football, they really love their halftime performances, clearly. And that's where they went from. And that's why we have this certified banger number.
That's true. I mean, the entire halftime show, quote unquote show, performance. I don't know. I think it all is just there because of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like I was actually thinking about this today because I remember really early on when we were doing the podcast, I was like, does Glee always start like a sitcom with just like a random prompt and they just go? And obviously they do because that's the structure of the show. But there are episodes where it's just so much more apparent than it is normally to me. And this is one of those where like clearly this was written all surrounding the timing of when it comes out, and it does make a lot of nonsense. Yeah.
It makes a lot of nonsense.
Yep, exactly. That's a phrase. Everyone start using it.
I want to put that on a t-shirt.
All right, we're gonna do it.
Our merch.
Glee, it makes a lot of nonsense.
So they go to zombie camp because for whatever reason the halftime show is zombie themed. And
Right. That doesn't make any sense unless like they're trying to say that like in the timeline of the story they're in like October,
but
and it's supposed to be like Halloweenish,
Maybe?
but
we just had
it airs
Christmas
in
last
February.
week.
Oh yeah.
Oh, true. So okay, that
mean,
doesn't make sense. And if they had Christmas last week,
no.
there's no high school football. It's basketball
It's
season.
Yeah.
so high school football season would be
Wow.
done. And then
I forgot Christmas was
But
last
then,
week. This
like,
is why I'm having this revelation.
she was talking about how like everybody would expect them to do Thriller because like that's the big halftime show, and it's like that's straight garbage. That's false.
Since when?
Very false. So nice try, but okay.
The timeline on this is so screwy.
It's
Well, which is
Guys, I'm so mad. You guys are completely unraveling my love of this episode.
it was a very
Although it's totally
cheerful,
valid.
lovely episode until you get into the logic.
Literally,
Okay, let's just
yeah.
for the timeline's sake and for the Gleeboot, we are going to switch the Christmas episode and this
Yeah.
episode, and we're gonna get rid of whatever whatever extraneous episode.
you
that
could
we
make
need.
this the Halloween episode
Yes, exactly.
That would make sense.
and get rid of the Rocky Horror Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes.
That episode doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
Exactly,
That
it
never
never
happened.
happened.
And, well, you know, we'll definitely actually hire someone to tell us the rules of football.
Okay, we'll get to that a little bit
let's not,
later
'cause that's,
about
like, toward the
who
end
does
of
and
the
doesn't know the
episode.
rules of
We
high
can
school
deal with
football.
that later. Well, there are so many fundamental flaws with that game.
I still love this episode.
That's because you don't understand football, Hannah.
Yes, that's the entire reason why.
No, I do understand football more than anyone on Glee
That's
does.
true.
But I still just like surrendered to it. I surrendered my disbelief. Like I was just like, yes, take me, Glee.
That's what I do every week.
Every single week.
That's why I'm generally like, I kind of liked it.
So this is what it's like to watch the show without being like, oh, this is going to be awful. Like, maybe I should do that more often. I'll have a better time watching the episodes. Anyway.
So, they're in zombie camp. They're practicing their zombie moves. Will is like, don't look so dead. And they're like, but we are zombies. Or he's like, bring some life into it. And they're like, he's like, maybe bring some afterlife.
Wait. I thought we were already at the game.
No, you guys just jumped ahead to the game.
No,
you jumped ahead.
No,
Okay.
I heard that line and I was like, shoo, you dumb bitch.
So wait, okay, so I actually have to go back a little bit. So when they decided what songs they were going to do for the halftime show, Thriller mashed up with the Ya 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 song, finally Glee had a sense to understand what children do and do not understand about like who sings what songs. Like that's a song from like the 70s, I think.
Wait, yeah.
What, the zombie song?
Yeah. No, not the zombie song, but the one Heads Will Roll. I think it's
Off
from
with
like the
your head.
70s.
Oh.
But that guy who, what was his name? Azamo?
Asiamo, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So he goes, who are the Ya Ya Ya's? I was like,
Oh,
finally.
yes.
One of these kids was like,
I
I don't
love
know who that is. But everyone else was like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, none of you children have heard that song. I didn't hear the song until I watched
Yeah, but the
Glee.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
that
not
kid
that
is a
old, right?
hero.
They're...
I thought it was like the 70s, but I could be wrong.
The Yeah.
I just said that because that's what it sounds like.
No, I have no idea.
No, they formed in
anything.
2000. They did the song Maps.
Oh, then maybe I'm mixing it up with the zombie
The zombie song is the one that's
'Cause
from like the
that's-
60s.
60s, yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm mixing them up. But anyway, the Yeah Ya
But they're
Ya's,
they're like a super underground, like not underground, but like they're not that well known. So
well, I guess if they're contemporary, then yeah, maybe I thought that was the song by the zombies. But then
I also have a lot of questions about why they even did the zombie song if they're not going to actually perform it.
I just want to talk about the injustice that happened this episode.
Oh, yes.
Oh boy.
They did a zombie-themed episode without covering Zombie by the Cranberries.
Oh.
True.
Zombie.
I don't know what this is.
Oh.
It's a great
boy.
song.
I don't know.
Somebody sing
I don't know if I
it.
wanna-
Maybe they thought that
He already
that you would
did.
just that song would be like beating a dead horse. I don't know.
Like 2 on the nose.
Yeah.
Glee was like,
Dead
this
horse?
is 2 on the nose.
Beating a zombie horse?
Yes.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Beating a zombie horse. Put some afterlife into
Oh,
it. Shut up,
Shut up,
Sue.
Hannah.
I thought that was actually a pretty good line.
No, I loved it.
pretty
It was a
good.
really great line.
Oh no. It was too punny, and I hate William Schuster.
Okay, but if William Schuster was a better character, it would be a good line.
Mm.
I wanted to be like, thanks, Dad, but then I was like, ooh, then I'd be calling William Schuster Dad.
Daddy.
Oh no! Wait, are we getting into
Curse.
daddy territory?
Curse.
I didn't think that was gonna happen.
But he's like
Anything
the
can happen on
age-
Gleeboot.
He's the correct age to make dad jokes if he was a good character.
Wait, how old is
If
how old
Terry
is
was actually
Shu
pregnant.
supposed to be?
I don't know, 35.
Early 30s?
Okay,
Yeah, I would say
okay.
early 30s somewhere.
I think so. I guess we could do the math
Nah.
back when
Well,
we
how
when he
old is
graduated.
Satan?
billions of years, right?
Yeah, that's how old William is.
Time, like, ageless.
William.
Yeah, William Schuster. William Esquire Schuster.
Esquire is his middle name. Was his dad a lawyer? That'd be so funny. His dad was a lawyer. It's like, my boy, William Esquire Schuster.
His dad went to law school in Acapellas episode. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, his dad also was the professor in Legally Blonde. Fun fact.
I'm sorry,
he
what?
is a lawyer. There's a lot of context happening.
I don't. Yeah. I have a lot of research to do.
So
after the episode.
That in Gleeboot fashion.
Yep.
So Will tells Karofsky, he's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And Karofsky's like, I know, I suck. And he's like, no, actually, you're pretty good. Like, you're pretty talented. And if you put all that energy you use into bullying people into, like, performance, like, you could be really talented. And he's, like, kind of charmed by it. And he's, like, comes up to Finn when they're putting on zombie makeup. And Finn's like, he's like, hey, can we talk? And Finn's like, hey, I already want to punch you in the nuts every time I see you. Like, can we not talk to each other? And he's like, no, I was just thinking we could do another warm-up number to prep for this. And he's like, oh, I totally agree. So then they do the zombies number, the way she moved. Or...
So that was just so they put on full makeup and costume plus matching red chucks, which is not cheap.
Yep.
To do a warm-up number.
Yep, you starting to sound like someone who's on Gleeboot.
Is it all of you? Because I feel like I've heard this from everybody. I don't really know.
The production value is literally pointless. What a waste of money.
I actually...
Unless we haven't ever explored this idea, but maybe the entire, like, like, universe of Glee happens in an extremely rich bubble.
Which would be great, but they also have to, like, try to afford the bus to regionals. So they can spend thousands of dollars on makeup and costume, but not their bus to whatever sort of singing championship they need to get to.
And whatever makeup they're doing, they're all really good at it, and I'm stunned. They're all, like, literal practical effects artists.
Okay, but I'm just going to point this out. None of that was good stage makeup.
Oh, yeah, no.
It was good,
not,
like...
Halloween makeup.
Production, Halloween makeup for, you know, like, movies and TV, because you can actually do close-ups. But stage makeup has to be big and dirty, and, like, you have to see it from miles away. So it didn't really work in that sense.
So you're saying that all of the people in the stands at the football game wouldn't notice the little blood trickle coming out of Brittany's ear?
That is correct.
That seems insane.
Wow.
What?
Didn't some of the players also wear helmets during the performance, or am I making that up? Or was that just during the game?
I think that was just during the
game.
Yeah, I don't think they wore
a
helmets
blur.
during the performance.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
did wear, like, totally ripped up uniforms.
I have. I don't know.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we keep jumping ahead.
I say, can
we
I
just
please
want to talk about it?
No, I want to talk about the scene that we're supposed to be talking about.
True.
Where Shu says to Karofsky, "You're so talented. Can we please see some of this talent? Because I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary with Karofsky."
Me either.
No, and then she was
I
like,
think he was just saying it to be nice.
Well, if it's actually a possibility that Karofsky is talented, I want to see it.
True.
I want to see it. I want to see it happen. I want it to be in progress so I can actually agree with, God forbid, Schuster.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. I also, I was like, I didn't even realize Karofsky was still there.
I definitely...
Yeah, exactly.
I made a note that was like, why is Shu trying to mentor this student when literally nothing happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can we also just talk about the zombies number?
What zombies number?
The song.
The boring
Yeah,
song?
this was a
Yeah.
really boring. It was
She's
really
not there.
not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to ask Cullen while we were watching it why they were dressed up as zombies because I didn't know that the band was called Zombies. Can I just say that you shouldn't dress up as zombies if you're doing something for the band's name? That doesn't make any sense.
They should have sang
I
"Zombies"
don't
by the
know.
Cranberries.
Yeah, honestly,
make more
Cullen,
sense.
you're absolutely right. Like, yeah, like what we were
Yep.
saying is like trying to reference like a 60s, 70s band called the Zombies that nobody really knows, especially like this sort of audience it just is pointless. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, also the fact that like they're dressed up in zombie makeup and we don't know if it's Halloween because obviously we would think it's Halloween. It just it's also confusing. I mean, like, I guess in the Gleeboot we can try to mash up that zombie song, which probably has a way different tempo than Thriller, which could be why they picked the zombies song. I just, I don't know. Guys, I still love this episode.
Well, they were singing. So, okay, there are zombies going around singing about. What was the song
A
again?
woman.
Yeah.
She's not there.
She's not there. And I was trying to figure out, like, is she dead? Or, like, did they eat her? Or, like, I had no concept of the fact that the band name was Zombies. But the song has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I think it's just
the song lyrics.
It was
like, it's just ridiculous.
just one of their I think it was just like one of their more popular songs that came out, and maybe they thought, yeah, this one song, it's kind of popular, maybe some of the audience will know it and understand what we're trying to do. And they failed. No, they failed hard.
Negative.
Yeah.
That's negative.
Yeah.
It was just I enjoy Need You Now. I enjoy most Glee numbers. I'm not bored by them. Even when Hannah and Alyssa are like, that was boring, I'm usually like, oh, that was fine. But I was bored during this one.
This one's real boring.
Yeah.
And they do, like, pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long number.
Yeah. And they're doing a weird, slow zombie dance. Like, there's nothing even really interesting to look at.
So they learned completely new choreography for that number and then different choreography for the halftime number.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where did they get all this time? You know?
It's the
Are
same
they not
place they get all of
practicing
their
on
money.
the field? Are they not practicing football on the field before the big game?
Absolutely
We're gonna
not.
talk about practice and stuff.
Oh boy.
We will.
Yeah.
I just, you know?
Slushies happen, though.
That's the next scene?
That's the next scene. The football team walks around in their zombie makeup and they think they're all cool. And then the hockey team comes up and they're like, how come we have to put your puck heads in your place? And they're like, you guys are going to embarrass yourselves at that halftime show and then we'll see who rules the school. And then they slushy all the football players.
Can we talk about the most important thing in that
Was
scene?
it the mullets?
Yeah.
Which is all the fucking
Yes!
mullets.
Thank you! So many mullets. I forgot this hockey team existed, and when I saw them roll in with all of their mullets, I was so disappointed. They didn't try to do like a missing teeth type like stereotype. There were no missing teeth. I was very disappointed, but they also called them, not only did they call them puckheads, but they also called them moose knuckles. And I was in love with this scene. I thought it was amazing that this hockey team tried to take over with all of their mullets and all of their glory.
It feels like a totally different show.
Yes, it does.
Like the hockey team versus the football team.
Can I just say,
yeah,
hockey is my favorite spectator sport.
Great.
Anyone would be able to guess why?
Oh wait.
Anyone?
No.
Are you? Because you're from Michigan.
What's Michigan though? Is it Detroit?
No.
I don't know.
No, Alyssa likes it because of the fights, right?
Yes! Cullen, you know me the best.
Amazing.
It's because it's so violent.
Hey, you guys should move in together and be roommates.
But we need to talk about,
knows.
because there's an amazing website called hockeyfights.com that tells the entire story. hockeyfights.com. Plugging it right now.
All right.
Well,
That's it. It's amazing. No, I totally agree. I wish there were more fights in hockey today. Unfortunately, refs suck now, and they don't allow nearly as many.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Soccer is my second favorite spectator
oh my
sport
god, I
because it's
think I might love you right now.
No, she's my friend. These are my friends. Separate yourselves.
soccer, or if we're talking about it like UK terms, I guess football.
Ooh.
True. Nice.
It
Good
would
one.
be. It's like this. It's underhandedly violent, and nobody wears any pads.
They do wear shin guards,
Mm.
so that's a
They do.
pretty big
That is
piece
true.
of protective equipment.
But only on the shins because it's a shin guard.
It is.
You could say they don't they also wear cups too? Don't they wear cups?
I think that
In
might be
soccer?
optional.
No.
I don't really know. I feel like
Yeah, I'm
No,
not
that-
Really?
entirely
Oh
sure.
god.
Run in a cup.
have you? But I mean, like,
Oh,
I don't know.
have you
Colin.
ever seen like so like there are like a lot of pictures of like men's soccer teams when they form a wall to protect like a penalty shot. They cover
Yeah.
their junk first and
Package,
foremost.
yeah.
So I would imagine that they probably don't.
wow. I just like assumed they would. That
Yeah,
sucks.
I mean, I guess if they didn't, they could just like flail their arms akimbo and not worry about their nuts getting hit by a ball. I don't know.
Amazing.
Is it though?
Yes. Lots of sports talk in Anne's corner. And that's how Anne sees
Oh
it.
no! Please don't do that. Please don't do that. We're ending with. All right, moving on.
Hang on. So the team is washing off their slushies, and they're like, it burns, and Finn's like, oh, it wears off after a couple hours, and Artie is like, the first stage of loserdom is denial, and Karofsky's like, I'm not a loser. I walk tall and I carry a big stick, and I'm like, what?
What the
Isn't that a
fuck
Churchill?
was
It's
that?
a Churchill quote. But it's walk softly but carry a big stick.
Yeah,
So he fucked it up.
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
know
no,
that.
he fucked it up hard.
yeah.
That's funny. That sounds about right for Karofsky.
And so the football team decides to quit the Glee Club, and even though Beast is like, you guys all look unified, you guys look like a team, and they're like, we can't deal with that, so they quit Glee Club and football. And so now the football team doesn't have anyone to play, and Coach Beast puts up a sign-up sheet, and she's like, I had to cut 30 guys, but now no one wants to sign up. And Will is like a picket line. No one wants to be a scab, so they don't have anyone to play on the team.
They don't have enough people to play. They have
Yes.
people who are still in Glee playing.
So they have Sam, Mike, Puck, and Finn.
And they need
and Artie.
And Artie. Yeah.
Artie.
Yeah.
So they need 4 more people? Is that what they said? 4 or 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, I can't count.
Um,
So are we gonna get to Bills so we can
yeah.
transition?
So just throwing in this other storyline, Darren, Chris.
Bing, 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 bing. You're welcome.
So we're at Dalton. Darren, Chris walks in with the Warblers, and they sing "Bills, Bills, Bills."
That's it. Okay,
And
done.
And that's how it happens.
Yes.
Yep. Nothing else happens. Nothing even really between Blaine and Kurt.
No.
Like Blaine kind of gets close to him real quick, but it's nothing like romantical, so it doesn't really matter.
I mean, to
And
be
then, yeah.
fair, like it was kind of a fun song, but it was in the middle of
It
everything.
slaps. Oh, I love that song on that album. It's so good.
I was
Yeah.
singing along, but it was
Yeah.
really, really weird. Like it was almost like when you think that you're getting root beer and then you drink it and you realize it's Diet Coke.
What?
Interesting. That's so interesting you said that. I would reverse that. It's like I order Diet Coke and they give me root beer because I don't like root beer.
Now I want root beer, guys.
I just
I'm so sorry. I'm so
I feel
sorry.
like that whole thing would have been so much better if they'd only done like a minute of the song instead of like the
Yeah.
full fucking thing.
Okay.
I agree.
Can we just touch on the fact that when they were at regionals, they were like, oh yeah, these guys don't dance. And now they have like every single person dancing.
But they also wish that they had the talent of Mike and Brittany.
Yes, but they
Like-
dance.
But it's not very good.
Are you
It's
kidding?
just a lot of
Someone
moving
did,
around
like,
the room.
Backflip. It was like
Oh,
Yeah.
I
up
zoned
there.
out.
Yep.
I was focused
No, there
on,
was like a
Darren Criss.
lot of Mike
There was
sort of
some gymnastics in
acrobatics
there.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't even see it. I was so paying attention to Darren Criss. I noticed his hair was fluffier today, not quite as slicked
Are we talking
down.
about how
appreciated
adorable
that.
he is, or what's happening here?
Yeah.
He is adorable.
That's
No, I
exactly what we're
totally
talking
agree.
about.
That's what I was wondering. It's just
He's
he was
so
just very
talented.
adorable.
Adorable. I love his hair. He looks so dapper. And he obviously knows a lot about football, more than possibly the coach at McKinley.
Question mark? So
Transition.
so not Puck. Kurt.
Wow, that's a really big leap.
Characters do things, screenwriting. So Kurt and Blaine go get coffee with Rachel and Mercedes, and they're talking about they haven't even been thinking about regionals with everything at McKinley going on. The whole school seems down, and because half the football team quit because they were going to be in Glee Club, and they're really sad, and Kurt is like, Finn hasn't said anything to me. Every night I bring him a glass of warm milk.
All right, here we go. So here is my Ohio rant. We talked about a few episodes ago when we first met Darren Criss's character, Blaine, that the the Dalton Academy is in Westerville, Ohio, which is near Columbus. It's about an hour and a half, I think we said, away from Lima, which is where McKinley is based, which is where Kurt lives. That means if he's not living on campus, he sees Finn every single night. He drives an hour and a half to school and an hour and a half back. That's insane.
I knew people who did that in undergrad.
Yeah, that's in school.
I mean, what's the traffic like?
Like, do they do it in high school or did they do it in college?
What's this?
College, but
What's the drive?
This is high
I feel
school.
like maybe if it's like highway driving, it wouldn't be that bad. Maybe
It's still that long though. Like
Yeah.
that
to me,
is
that's
highway
just
driving. What if he lives
it's
in the middle?
insane.
That way, it's only 45 minutes each way.
Oh, that's true.
But he
it's not
lives-
as insane.
But he lives in
Lima.
Lima.
Maybe he lives on the outskirts of Lima, and the high school is in the middle. 45 minutes.
I don't believe
Weird.
it.
I feel like there are a lot of assumptions happening here.
Yes.
I feel like they just didn't look at a map of Ohio.
I mean,
Also, here's an interesting thing. Possibly they looked at a map but didn't do the thing that Midwesterners do. This is like a Midwestern thing where we quote it's not how far away it is. It's how long it takes to get there.
So yeah, I'm saying an hour and a half. It could be 20 miles and a bunch of traffic.
I think those are like city rules, though. I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna say it's an hour and a half, I would imagine in Midwestern rules it would be like at least 70 miles.
Yeah, it's.
But
it just seems like so long.
We don't say 70
Oh
miles.
yeah,
We
it's
say
only
an
like
hour
a
and a half.
70-mile drive. It's like it's only 70 miles away, or oh, it's only like an hour and a half. No big deal.
Yeah.
I prefer hearing about time because otherwise distance means
70
nothing
miles
to me.
seems impossible.
Yeah, well, you're a Michigander, Cullen.
Yeah.
So we're all Midwesterners. Whereas like
are.
now that Cullen and I are in LA, you're like, how far away is it? Oh, my consistent answer is it depends on the time of day. Because in my head, I'm like, well, it depends on the time of day, how long it takes. Whereas people who grew up here, they're like, oh, it's so and such and such miles. And they're already thinking, it's just weird. I think in terms of time. Other people think in terms of distance. It's very, very strange.
We are.
Yeah, I feel like it it's a lot for a high schooler to do on his own.
Exactly.
He's
Do
16.
you?
Well,
What if he
I
like?
know
Just had a
person-
What
car
if
for a
he stays
year,
there during the week and then goes home on weekends?
But he
but
says
he
he
sees
sees
Finn
Finn
every
every
night.
night.
Oh,
But
hey,
gives him milk.
you guys are absolutely right.
I know a person who drove a half hour to high school. What's another 15 minutes?
But it's not 45 minutes. It's an
It
hour
is.
and a half.
It is if you
That's
think
your
about
headcanon.
My headcanon is they live on the outskirts of Lima.
No.
In between. That's where it is. That's what I'm saying.
Nah.
Okay, in the Gleeboot, we're
Nah.
making up our own cities.
Yeah, maybe this is
like in
I
Pawnee,
agree.
this is a
like
Glee,
Pawnee, Indiana.
a Glee America where these two towns are
We live in
significantly
Glee's
closer.
America.
This is Glee America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glee America.
Okay, we're making up our own cities in our own timelines, and
I agree.
we're definitely quoting time instead of distance because that's
Yeah.
a Midwest thing.
I
Great.
agree.
Yeah. So, Blaine,
I did not expect to talk about this part that long.
yeah.
We didn't even talk about the
So-
warm milk for one. That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
he brings Finn warm milk, but Finn doesn't tell him anything. And Rachel's like, it's not Finn to show stress on the outside. She's like, I could help comfort him. And Kurt's like, let it go, Rachel. And
Yeah, uncomfy.
yeah, and Blaine is like, well, you can play with a less than full regulation team. You only need a few more people to play. And then Allyssa at this moment was like, why don't the girls join the team? Oh my gosh, she was like
Yes.
screaming, why aren't the girls gonna join? And I'm just like, just wait a few more
the next
minutes.
3, like the entire time until we actually find this out, I was
The
like,
longest 3
Girls!
minutes of Alyssa's
Girls!
life.
girls.
So then they're in the choir room, and the girls are like, we're gonna play, or we have an idea.
Girls.
Yeah. Yes. So
That's what happens.
correct. The girls decide that they're gonna play, and they're like, and Will is all like, Rachel, you could actually get hurt. Have you seen a game of football? And Lauren is like, you guys are so sexist to assume that like girls can't play football. And Rachel's like, we'll just lie on the ground.
So, I mean, technically, I guess if they really can play 2 men or women down, and if they can line up correctly and they don't, so if they line up correctly and they don't move on the line and then they get the snap off and then they decide to just flop, that would be technically fine. It's never been done. It should never be done, but I guess that's something.
Because they could still get trampled.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They could still get
No, it's a
stepped
really
on.
dumb idea. It's really dumb, but
Yeah.
this, I think, may be something that could be okay.
It is not explicitly against the rules.
Right.
I guess not.
They found a loophole in football.
Yeah.
Could you imagine what happened if all football players just did that? Like, what if the Steelers one day were just like, you know what, we don't want to play. We're just gonna lay down.
Well, I don't know.
I would laugh so
there are
hard.
so many things about the Steelers that we cannot unpack in the amount of time we have. So maybe we should just leave the Steelers out of it.
Okay.
Sorry, I touched a nerve with Anne.
So if we wanted to talk about the Super Bowl teams that existed, that played before this episode, and we're talking about the Packers and the Steelers, the Packers technically won, and the Packers are much better than the Steelers. So
I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm not an any team.
you should
fan.
not be a Steelers fan. Nobody should be a Steelers
I'm
fan.
not.
Give me that flack. I do
Well, there
not
goes
care.
all our Pittsburgh listeners.
You know what? It's
Goodbye.
strange how many. You know what? None of this matters. I'm so sorry. We should continue.
It's okay. We enjoyed it.
We love tangents.
It's
all
you know, but there's so much more to go on about this episode. Okay. We haven't talked about the chicken cutlets or the cannon or anything
We're
yet.
getting there. We are getting there.
There's so much more to talk about that's much more interesting than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now it's actually time for the football game. And they're like, who's gonna play? And then they're like, what you get, and Finn's like to the bullies, what you don't have the people who have the balls, something. The people who have the balls to do what you couldn't. And then the girls walk out, and it's like, it's funny because they don't have balls.
I loved their strut out, especially when Rachel was like living off of the crowd being there. You could see it in her eyes. She was like, finally, my time to shine.
She has a huge smile, and they're playing the Glee like ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Which like totally underplays the epicness of their walk. I thought that was actually really, really great.
Yeah, it was a funny moment.
It was in slow-mo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
It was very epic.
And so then the girls keep just flopping. Lauren Zize said she's gonna play and she's gonna bring the pain because she's a wrestling champion.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Rachel's like explosive? Did Finn say, "Are you ready?" And then what was her line?
Let's kick some ass.
Yes, it was
Yes.
great. It was, but she had to take out her her mouth guard first. It was good.
Thought you were gonna say she had to take out her teeth for a second. I was like, wait, what? Did I miss something?
Well, I was gonna say tooth guard, and then I was like, no, that's not it. Even though that's technically what it does.
True.
That's not it.
So they start playing the game, and then Tina gets tired of just lying there, and then the ball is fumbled, and it's there, and they're like, go grab the ball. So Tina grabs the ball. She's running. She's almost there. We see Carol and Kurt and Blaine cheering her on, and then she gets tackled by like the lightest tackle in the world, and then she's like,
oh yeah,
like literally
like,
so mad.
Laces his arms around her waist, and it's just like, okay, now you go to the ground.
I was
exactly.
so angry. Not that she got tackled, but immediately after she's on the ground, we just see like the med team running there.
Yes, I agree. Like it was kind of strange that like one, the girls needed permission slips to do it, like that happened in that other scene when they first went to do it, but then like everyone rushed out, like the medic rushed out, and then they tried to use the flashlight, but she had her eyes closed, and I'm like, they didn't even try to like open her eyes, they were just like shining it in her face. I was like, you guys are idiots.
Well, I was just like, is this really, people think girls are this fragile?
Who knows? Probably.
Yeah, because
I
Mike
don't
is
know.
all like, Tina, and she's like,
I was
"Did
so
we
proud
win?"
of her.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I was like, how can... So, Tina was the only one who voiced what I was thinking, which was, I'm getting tired of flopping on the ground. I want to play. I would have wanted to play from the very beginning.
Exactly.
Okay, and then second of all, like, for anyone listening who's not a girl, girls aren't that fragile. Well, maybe some are. It depends,
Some
I
might
suppose.
be.
But just in general, no, we're not like that.
We're not fragile just because we're girls.
No, it's
so
that was very annoying.
I guess.
Yeah, Tina was awesome.
The issue might be, and they did. So okay, so the guy who tackled her didn't really seem to have that much of a weight differential on her. Like he seemed to be like a fine, but I mean, like I guess if you consider it like
they were about the same
yeah, that's
height,
what I'm saying. So like 130-pound girl, whatever she was, whatever, and then compared to like 180-pound person who falls on top of somebody, like that could just crush you. Like that might hurt.
Yeah.
And I think that could be a problem, but like bringing out the medical team for a very soft tackle like that is not plausible at all.
Yeah.
No.
I kind of would have wanted like I think there's a lot packed in with the Sue plot that, like, I feel like if we took that out and had it separate, we could have focused on the girls stepping up to play football. I would have loved to see them rehearse plays. Like, I thought that would have been so fun. Or rehearse them flopping.
Well,
Like-
okay.
Oh, wait.
I could
Yeah.
see Rachel treating it like a performance.
A rehearsal.
Yeah.
I literally wrote, did they not have a rehearsal for Rachel?
Well, this is the thing. Like, they get out on the field, and then Rachel, I think it was Rachel, I don't know, someone says, wait, what are we doing? And I'm like, you didn't even talk about it? Like, you didn't even do anything? What?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's why I feel like there's a lot more fun to be had with this, but obviously they didn't.
I guess, all right, so I also have a major issue with Artie being on the field because you can't have a fucking wheelchair on the field. I'm sorry. You can't just have this object on the field that anybody could run into. It doesn't make any sense.
He's on the team, but did they ever actually have him play? I don't even remember.
They put him on the field. It was just like...
So, like, they address this in a different episode where apparently he's being used as a battering ram. I don't.
But
Right,
they
but
don't
they
even.
didn't
They
do
just
that.
line him up, and he's just there, so
Yeah.
anybody can accidentally run into him. He's not actually moving himself at
Mhm.
all. He's just there. And also, I just feel like
Yeah.
for football rules, that's just not. No,
Real.
No.
sorry. No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It just, like, I could buy the battering ram thing a few episodes ago, but that's not what happened in this episode. So yeah, it just, like, they needed someone else on the line, but it's like, that's kind of a hazard for everyone. Like, Artie could get really, really hurt if anyone bumps into him.
I mean,
Literally,
yeah, in any
Anybody
any game
could get
really.
hurt. Like,
yeah.
Literally
that's the whole
anyone.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. That was my issue.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
Are we? I mean, okay. No, okay.
That was one thing where I was just like, okay, I'm suspending my disbelief for this, but there is no way whatsoever it would ever happen in real life.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about the halftime show?
Yeah. So,
Nope, we're gonna skip right over it.
So Puck convinces the football team because Finn is like, Sam, be quarterback. I'm gonna get the cheerleaders.
Oh,
And then Puck, you go convince the football team.
yeah. Okay. So wait, hold on a
Yeah.
second. So if Finn leaves during the game, they're a man down again. So they technically wouldn't even be able to play.
Oh my god! You're
so
right!
I am upset. I saw that. I was like, no, this does not make sense.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my
I-
God.
Wow.
I thought it, but I was like, oh, whatever. This makes no
We are
sense anyway.
suspending any belief. This is fine. Great.
Oh boy.
Amazing.
Major
Wow.
plot hole.
And
Wow,
also
that's
just
a
saying,
great
like,
catch. I didn't even
hey,
think about it.
person who usually doesn't play this position, play this position. Great. Okay.
Sam's been quarterback before.
Oh, has he? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Edit that
But
out.
that's also like a big moment for Finn to be like, you take the lead while I go do something else. Like, that's kind of an important moment for Finn to, like, be selfless.
I guess also because
Yeah.
like
I feel like
there was that situation where Sam earlier was like, it's time for a new leader. So yeah.
Yeah.
it
There's
felt-
like a lot of emotional stuff there that they just were like, we gotta do this halftime show.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, when Finn was like, okay, you lead, and I'm gonna go do this thing, I actually felt like he became more of a leader at that point. Like, I feel like that's what it was almost supposed to be, where, like, he was taking on this
Yeah.
mantle.
For sure.
But
it
it
just like
didn't-
it didn't get the weight.
Yeah,
that it
it
needed.
wasn't quite enough, and it also makes no sense. So, in
Yeah,
terms-
now there's a
in
giant
terms of,
plot
like,
hole.
rules and playing and all that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did like it though because he's been threatened by Sam in the past, and he was this episode. Not just Sam threatening him, but just by like Sam's existence as like
Mhm.
the leader. So it was like a big thing to give part of that to Sam.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And we'll get to what happens with the cheerleaders. But Puck convinces the football team to play and do the halftime show. And he's like, this is one of those stories that we can tell our kids one day about victory.
I had a moment during
Oh.
this speech. Okay, so he says, "This is one of the moments we can tell our kids one day." And as I was watching, I thought to myself, "Oh my god, I hope Puck never has children." And then I realized Puck always he already has a child.
Yeah, he did have a kid.
I
Hopefully,
was
he doesn't ever see her.
floored.
Yeah.
I died in my seat.
We are now talking to the zombie of Alyssa.
Yes, the zombie,
Yeah,
not the ghost.
the zombie.
I'm holding on to my decaying flesh.
Gross.
Yeah, so now it's time for the halftime show. They do a Halloween banger, a mashup I listen to on repeat around Halloween. Thriller.
I listened to it today before I was watching the episode. Just saying. It's on my cover Glee songs that I actually like playlist. So I was banging to it at least twice today.
Yeah, it's definitely on my Glee playlist. It is Thriller and Heads Will Roll. And the zombie, they do some like zombie dancing, but the song's a great cover.
Yeah, it's a banger. I wasn't really even paying attention to the actual show itself because I really was not interested in the zombie stuff. I was like, I don't understand. I'm sure it looks cool, but also I just like the song.
And
yeah, that's it.
Karofsky in the middle of the performance sees them and then is like, I want to join, and he puts on his jersey and he runs out and just joins the number in no makeup.
Yes. Well, the interesting thing is, I think you might have skipped over this, is like Puck convinces everyone except for Karofsky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Why were they in the locker room? Why were all of
They're picking up their stuff.
Why were they
in the
doing
middle of the
that
game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it was convenient for the writing.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. So that was the halftime show.
We already did kind of talk about it a lot.
Well, can I just say that so the band is out there too, and typically like it takes a lot of time to rehearse just a band, and if there's going to be extra people on the field, I wanted to see like them trying to rehearse with the band.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, when did they do this?
Yeah. No, again, off screen, you know how they do.
Yeah.
One thing I did note was that like when Finn showed up to do his little speaky solo, Carol's face in the crowd lit up, and I was like, "Oh, she's so happy for her son." It was so cute.
She's such a good actress.
A mom moment. Yes.
I also kind of wonder how long halftime is, because the makeup and the costume would have taken like hours, and
right.
but somehow Finn is in like full zombie makeup, and this is
if you're doing stage makeup, it would maybe not take as long.
what's the standard time on doing makeup like that for stage?
Okay, so I don't know, Cullen, you might be able to speak more than
I've had dress rehearsals put on hold for hours by makeup.
But like, if you had to
if
do a
you're
speed run for zombie makeup, what are we looking at?
We're looking at
I don't know, like
I
would say like also like a halftime show for high school is probably maybe 15, 20 minutes.
I mean, it's not gonna run more than 30 minutes.
But also, if you think about like a play, and you have a character at the beginning of the play, like the first half of the play is alive, and then they get turned into a zombie midway through, and they show up in a different scene as a zombie, you don't have that much time to actually make them look like a zombie. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the writing would then compensate for that.
Yeah.
Right?
It depends. But also, like, makeup, because I remember, like, people doing makeup and costume changes extremely quickly.
There's one that a costume change is different than a makeup change.
Yeah, like, but I have known people to do both at the same time.
Yeah, it takes a while, and that it like if you need to do it fast, it takes like a whole group of people.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So they would have at least had to have people helping
But they
them.
didn't,
Yeah.
because
Yep,
they
so
had
they
to
had
do
Glee's production
yeah,
staff.
they had to have
Yeah.
they did their own zombie makeup tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, since we're talking about all this stuff, there's a fun fact about this, the filming of this, that it has been noted as the hardest sequence they've ever done because of all of the makeup and stuff and how stiff some of it was. Like, Artie's wearing like a fake jaw and quote unquote
Oh, I
singing.
was wondering about that.
Yeah.
But then also, when they filmed it, apparently there was like cold and wet weather. And so they were also like literally miserable because of that too.
Oh,
And
you mean it was like
something
actual
that
Midwest weather? What?
maybe. But yeah, so like apparently it was really grueling, and like obviously a production of that size with all the shots they had to do, can't even imagine how many hours, possibly days, that it took. So yeah, fun fact.
So not realistic at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're saying, is that makeup change, not buying it.
Though I bought it in the episode. To be fair, that's like
Yeah.
refrigerator logic. Like,
Oh, I did not at all.
yeah,
Weirdly enough, I'm with Cullen on this. I bought it. I was like, yes, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
I don't know. I was also just like so swept up because I think it was a really good number, and I thought Santana doing that song was really great too.
Oh, she sounded so
Yeah.
great.
yeah. So yeah, it's a really fun number. And so when I was thinking of the episode, I'm like, oh, it's a great episode. Then I'm like, well, it had a great number. I don't remember the rest of the episode. So then they win the game,
Yay.
right? Do they win? Do they lose?
Yeah, they end
I
up
can't
what?
remember.
No,
So they
they
win
end up. Oh, okay.
because
Hannah, go ahead. Sorry.
they win because I don't know, they do really well, and then they're on the field with their zombie makeup because Beast is like, yeah, you guys can be back on the team, which I thought was really stupid. But they get back on and they're in the zombie makeup and they're like, ugh, and then they start saying brains.
Oh yeah,
And
they
then
chant.
There's a
brains.
game of Amazing Telephone where everyone somehow figures out exactly what they're saying, and then everyone's saying brains, and the other team is like, whoa, brains. And then the opposing team's quarterback completely misses the
Snap.
what's it called?
The
The snap, thank you. And it goes completely over his shoulder. Someone picks it up. They score. Yay!
I
That's what
had
happened.
so many. Okay, so I guess like what they were trying to say is like this was
Brains.
like a recall to what Finn did in his initial, like when they did the initial game in the very beginning of the episode where he missed a snap. And now they're
Yeah.
intimidating this guy, but also just yelling brains at a team to miss the final snap. Where literally all they have to do. Okay, so this team is already up by however many points. It doesn't matter. There is 10 seconds left on the clock, and all they have to do is snap it and then kneel. They don't even have to have a play. It doesn't even matter. All they have to do is the guy who hikes the ball literally just has to hand the ball underneath his butt to the quarterback, who literally just has to sit on his ass to end the play and run out the clock, and it would be totally fine.
Yep.
And somehow this motherfucker snaps it high to let miraculously the whatever our heroes, whatever the fuck their team name is,
The
Titans, dear God, the
Titans.
recover the ball and also somehow miraculously run it to the end zone to score a touchdown is just the most nonsense garbage. Not to mention they're all in zombie makeup because they couldn't wash off and it's really itchy. Like, this is all this is all wrong. It's so wrong. I hate it so much.
So what you're saying
I love this
is
episode.
It's unrealistic.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could say it's unrealistic. Yeah.
Good way to put it.
So they
Oh,
win the
wait,
game.
hold on a second. Before they even win the game, only offense exists apparently. So like defense, like are they expecting all of these everybody to go on defense and try and tackle people? Because if that defense doesn't exist for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. That's Anne's corner.
Glee writers have never seen a single football.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
Not even, I'm talking about the game. They have never seen a physical
Okay.
football. That's how little they know.
But that's the end of Anne's corner.
There you go. It's a thing now.
I think we should call it Anne Rant.
Oh.
It's like a play on Anne Rand.
Are we going to talk about objectivism? Because let's do it.
Nice.
So they win the game, and then afterwards, like in the hallway, Finn is talking to Karofsky. There's a lot of characters, guys. And he's like, hey, like if you want to join Glee Club, I think people want you to apologize to Kurt first so we can drive out to Dalton. And he's like, what, you think we're just going to be friends and sing little peace songs and kumbaya in there? Like hippie stuff? Like, no, that's not me. He's like, oh, I thought you really enjoyed it. And he's like, and like we could really change things. He's like, I'm on top. Why would I want things to change? And he walks away.
Okay, to be fair, Finn really didn't go about this in the correct way, ever.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get someone to join, you don't say, oh, hey, you can't join unless you do this thing, without even knowing if they want to join. Like, no. That's not how you do it.
One, he assumes, and then two, his thing is like, you have an ultimatum, and then three, it's sort of like you're approaching him in the hallway and being like, hey, do you want to join Glee Club? Where he's
Not
like
even
still
No, no, no.
obviously,
Not even like,
Hey.
do you want to join? It's like, hey, you are a part
hey,
of Glee
you're
Club now.
joining.
Yes, exactly.
It's I don't know, it's just really, yeah, it's really bad.
He fumbles terribly.
Love it.
Sports lingo.
Great.
Alyssa, did you get your degree in sports writing?
No.
Because that's some sports lingo right there.
Oh, boy.
It's a good sports callback.
Sports.
No, if you want to know how to properly manipulate someone into joining a club, what you do is you say, hey, you were really great at this football team. I could also use someone with your amount of talent to help run.
Shu already tried
Glee."
that, and it didn't work.
Yes, but he tried it before Karofsky got on the field.
True. So we're saying is we should put Shu in another scene with a student.
No. That's not what we're saying at all.
So that's it for the main storyline. Now we just have the Sue in the canon. So
Just
my
have
gosh.
this whole thing. Wait, did we even talk it?
Yeah.
Have we
Chicken
talked about the
cutlets.
chicken cutlets?
no,
Not
it's
yet.
time.
It's time for this. Okay.
So they're
And your
singing.
time has come.
Oh, I think
They're
I'm done
singing
though.
California.
I think I'm done with rants.
They're singing California Girl, or they're not singing. They're just performing to the number or to the song, and then Sue is like, "That was lifeless," and Quinn is like, "This is one of the best numbers we've ever put on." He's like, "I didn't feel anything," and she's like, "Sandbags," meaning Santana. Slap yourself with a chicken cutlet. Now slap Brittany. I didn't even laugh. And that's
Oh my God, I
they
laughed
actually
so
slapped
hard.
us. Yeah.
But the whole
where did
reason
they
for the
get
chicken cutlets is because she wanted them to stuff their bras.
yeah.
They need more jiggle.
More jiggle.
Oh my god.
Jiggle should be banned.
That's where they got it?
Yeah, jiggle needs to be banned.
It's on the list. Yeah.
I didn't notice this at all. I was too busy trying to figure out why they were having blue hair. And then Cullen kindly explained to me.
Yeah,
yeah.
didn't
Oh
she
my
have
God.
blue hair at some point, or she wore a wig?
Oh, good
or-
lord.
Yeah,
I
she
don't
wore a
know.
blue wig for all
Yeah.
of like the Teenage Dream era. Was
I
it Teenage Dream or was it another one?
I'm
That
not
was
a
Teenage
pop
Dream.
person.
Okay.
So
Katy Perry is an American icon.
Yeah,
Everyone should adore her.
I think we're all on board.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, so they're wearing chicken cutlets, and it's not I didn't laugh. It's Sue's like I didn't laugh because that's why she has them slap each other, and she doesn't laugh because she's like I don't feel anything. And Quinn is like, that's because you constantly need to top yourself. And she's like, you may be right. Slap yourself with a chicken cutlet.
And then they cut away. I was so mad. I wanted to see that.
I bet Quinn wouldn't do it.
No, I don't think she
That
would.
Diana Agron was like, I'm not doing that. That's why that cut happened. Well, it's probably a good button line, but also like, ugh, that would have been so funny if she would have been like, all right.
So Sue gets a giant cannon. She's talking with a carnival guy, and she's like, she's asking if she could shoot a person across the field. He's like, you have a 70% chance of failure, of catastrophic failure, and she's like, that means a 30% chance of catastrophic success. And she's like,
Great
I
line.
don't make a habit of touching carny folk, but she shakes his hand.
So this guy has like the weirdly whitest teeth I have ever seen. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. He has very white teeth for a carny. Like they've got to
I
be.
noticed how
I didn't
narrow his
notice.
jaw was. That's what I noticed.
Okay, I didn't know he was supposed to be a carny until she literally said it.
Yeah.
Well, he's selling a giant cannon.
Well, I mean, could
Yeah, I
he not
assumed
just
because of the
be like the
cannon.
Midwestern cannon salesman?
AKA a carny folk?
Yeah.
But also, like,
I don't know how else.
where did
Midwestern
she?
cannon
Where did
salesman.
she get the money for this cannon? Like, this has got to be like a pretty
Oh, the
pricey.
Cheerios have
She's got a budget.
unlimited funds.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
The Cheerios.
I'm gonna look
Cheerios.
Cheerios.
The Cheerios. Yeah, Cheerios, please do not sue us. We're saying Cheerios. So before that, she like talks in her journal. You know, she's talking about what her motivations are going to be for the episode until they inevitably change. She mentioned something about raccoon hormones.
That her new
And
doctor
then she
gave
gets
her.
Yes, and then she gets a tattoo, and I felt this moment so hard because he wrote her name. He was like, "It's Sylvester, right?
Yeah.
Sue Sylvester," and I was like, "Ow, that hurts."
Never
Yeah.
ever get a tattoo with writing.
Yeah, valid.
Ooh, guys,
But
Don't do
also,
it.
I have a tattoo with writing.
oh,
Oh,
is it spelled
no.
correctly?
It's spelled correctly. All
Is it
good.
spelled correctly in a place that you can see?
Yes.
Okay, see, there's the kicker.
We are
Never
set.
get a
It
tattoo
was
with writing
not
in a place
a
that you
back
can't see.
tattoo. A full
Yeah.
size portrait of
Back
myself spelled, you know what, and without an E. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I spelled your name wrong?
No, that was the joke.
No.
Oh, okay, get it.
No, I would never get a tattoo with my own. That's also. I'm searching for human cannons and nothing comes up, so don't try to do that on your.
I appreciate your dedication to research on this
Very
show.
curious, not because I wanted to shoot myself out of a cannon, just pure research.
Now you're gonna get ads about human cannons.
I hope so.
And so Sue buys the cannon and she shows it to the cheerleaders and is like, you need to, like, we're going to fire Brittany out of this cannon. And Brittany's like, I don't want to die yet, at least not until One Tree Hill gets canceled. And they
stick One Tree Hill burn, I guess.
And they launch a cheerleader mannequin out of it that's made to look like Brittany, and it collapses into a million pieces. And Quinn is like, don't worry, I'll talk to Mr. Shu and get this settled.
Collapses. I would say explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's shot out, and then, like, Brittany's, like, holding the head, and I was like, oh, this is so sad. Poor Brittany.
So Shu and Figgins are there telling Sue that she can't do this. And she's like, cheerleading is a sport. Sports have danger. And Figgins is like, but the danger isn't to you. And she's like, that's the best part. And he says she can't do it unless you can't fire a student out of a cannon without their consent.
Without their consent.
Yeah,
I literally lost my
maybe
mind.
not like at all. Period.
At all.
Yeah.
But then we have a classic Sue rage as she leaves, and Figgins is like, it's coming out of your paycheck. It's
Every
so
penny.
good.
And this is This is okay. So she's classic Sue raging, in which she's like destroying everything around her, and
Pushing children.
it was almost perfect, because then it cuts to the scene where she was talking with Beast, and Sue comes in and starts raging in there. Almost perfect. They should have done another scene in which she's raging in a different area before they got to Beast and Sue. Rule of threes, people. It would have been perfect if they had another scene with Sue raging.
100% agree. It would have been funny if it was also like Shu in a room just talking, like if she came into his classroom while he was teaching.
Yes.
Because sometimes he teaches Spanish, you know? What if she came in and like destroyed his classroom, and then he like went to Beast and be like, you wouldn't even believe it, and then she comes in again.
Yes.
Oh, that would have been so
Or
funny.
the teacher's lounge, where other people are there to witness, and we actually know what that looks like. I don't think I know what his classroom looks like.
We've seen his classroom a couple times.
That's the point.
It looks like all of the classrooms, I think. I think they all look pretty much the same.
A couple times is not enough.
Is that an ice cream truck?
Oh my god.
Our ice cream truck operates all the time, and someone was like, how is that allowed under COVID-19? And I'm like, maybe ice cream trucks always operate outside the law.
Yeah, we have a rebel ice cream truck delivery guy who comes through. He came through yesterday, and I ran down there and I flagged him down and I got some ice cream. It was delicious.
I don't think we would be able to flag down our ice cream truck because people go like 50 down this road.
Yeah. So then she moves nationals to Sue moves nationals to the same time regionals, whatever, cheerleading regionals to the same time as the football game, and now the cheerleaders have to choose between cheerleading and Glee Club. Why? Because Sue says that they have to choose. Sue doesn't say
that. What happened?
Yeah, she was like, they'll make a choice.
But I mean, they would have had to
during
make
the
a
meeting
choice anyway.
Yeah, but that it didn't have to be a permanent choice. He makes it the permanent choice.
No,
so why?
I mean, they do end up choosing eventually.
But why does she go after like the football team? Is it just because of like?
Because of no reason.
For competition with funding? Like that's the only thing I could think of.
No, I don't know, because this episode is named Sue's
the Sue Sylvester Shuffle.
Sylvester Shuffle. That's why.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I still love it.
But I just want to point out that the only reason the cheerleaders had to permanently choose is because of Mr. Schuster.
No, they would have had to. Okay, I have issue with this because they had to choose anyway.
They had to choose for this one night. But I've been in plays where it's like I have to skip rehearsal one night because I have a soccer practice or soccer game. And you have to figure that out ahead of time, and that happens. But this was one night. It didn't have to be a permanent pick one or the other.
Yeah, if Shu hadn't mentioned that they have to, they can choose. If Sue had come to that decision on her own, I think that would have made more sense, because him saying oh, they'll have to choose, he could have meant it in well, they'll have to choose tonight for that night. But she could have been oh, you're right, Shu, I'm gonna make them choose forever. So makes more sense. The blame definitely falls on him, because either that's exactly what he meant, or that's how Sue took it, and she's like, I hate everybody, this is what I'm doing.
But at the same time, this is higher stakes than just soccer practice or play rehearsal, because it's regionals and championship.
Yeah, but it's not for the Glee Club. The Glee Club is just doing a random halftime show.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know why so excited to do Thriller, so Thriller or cheerleading.
Apparently Thriller. Spoilers. So Finn goes to confront Quinn about it, and she's like, I haven't made my choice yet, because Rachel's like, Quinn's obviously going to choose cheerleading, and Finn's like, you don't know that. And when
thanks for letting Quinn have her own agency, Finn. We really appreciate that.
Thanks, Glee. They love giving Quinn agency. Because after zombie camp, the cheerleaders are in the bathroom and they're like, what are we going to choose? It's a difficult choice. And Quinn is like, I'm torn. Santana's like, I'm not. Brittany's like, I'm Brittany.
She says, well, I'm not,
Bitch.
I'm Brittany. Literally my favorite line in the whole show. I had to write it down. It was great. Brittany's amazing.
She is. And Sue comes out of the bathroom stall and is like, I've been listening. You have to choose. Here's your signatures. She talked about her 2 p.m. ninja poops.
Yes. And then also Brittany says something about double rainbows. And it was really sad because that guy passed away recently. Double rainbow guy. Yeah, R.I.P. Double rainbow guy.
It was a meme.
What?
Oh, you have to watch it. It's so wholesome. Oh, it's so good. Good content.
Okay.
And
Anyway.
so the cheerleaders sign to resign from Glee Club. Brittany's getting pressured to let herself be fired out of the cannon because Sue is like, remember that cannon has 2 twin cannons at home and another cannon on the way. And Mom,
she gives her like the cannon wrote you a note because it misses you, and I'm like, that's upsetting.
I felt really weird just watching the whole scene with Sue and Brittany, and I don't know, maybe it's
so
because
manipulative.
Like, it's super manipulative, and they keep making jokes about Brittany's gonna die, and Brittany can't even write her name.
Yeah, she's like, how many M's are in the letter R?
And I was...
she's like, put an X.
I was like, at what point is Brittany just, like, too dumb and you're taking too much advantage of her? Because, like, I don't know, it just felt really strange that... Not that Sue would treat a cheerleader terribly, but that she would treat any person with that much disregard. Like, as a human being, to not care about their life and to manipulate them to such a degree as she manipulated Brittany. I don't know.
Yeah.
It felt too much. It was too much.
It's not like she was anything that literally didn't have Brittany's life at stake would have been like, okay, whatever, she's manipulating her and it's Sue's shtick.
Yeah.
But we're literally seeing that Brittany's life could be at stake, and it makes it so hard to watch.
Yeah.
I just like the line. She's like, Mom, cannon can't work. She has fibromyalgia.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I thought Sue was a villain, so it was fine. But Brittany doesn't want to die yet, and so then Finn confronts Quinn about the cheerleaders quitting Glee Club, and is like, I thought you were stronger than that. And Allyssa pointed out that it's like, didn't she have a child last season?
No, he literally called her weak. He's like, I didn't realize you were so weak.
I was so mad. I was just like, wait, he's calling the person weak who just had a kid in the middle of high school.
Yeah. And Sam points out, he's like, how come, if all of them quit, how come you're yelling at my girlfriend? And Sam's like, maybe we need more leadership. And Finn's like, oh, really? And Sam's like, yeah, bring it. And then Finn's like, brung. And they're like pushing each other. And Quinn is like, okay, really, guys?
No, she says, this is actually hot, kind of.
Well, first she says that, and then she says, really, guys?
I was so upset that, like, she was like, oh my God, this is kind of hot. I was like, Quinn, come on. Like, you can stand up for yourself.
I thought that their little shoving contest and, like, their idiotic comebacks to each other felt very high school, though.
Yeah, I'm really proud that Finn can conjugate verbs. That's really great. I'm glad.
Proud of you. Proud of our baby boy.
My baby boy.
And so then when Finn leaves the football game, he talks to the cheerleaders because they're all nervous. Brittany's going to be fired out of that cannon. And Santana's
like, it's going to be worth it.
Yeah. She's like, I don't want to die. And Santana's like, it'll be worth it. It's great. And Finn runs up and is like, come on, I know you guys, if it wasn't about popularity, which would you choose? Glee Club or football? And Brittany was or Glee Club or cheerleading. They've done this so many times. And Brittany's like, oh, Glee Club. And so they all decide to choose Glee Club, and they come back for the Thriller performance. And then at the last scene, Quinn's back in her regular clothes, and Finn's like, oh, how do you feel? And she's like, it feels weird being out of the Cheerios uniform. I got a couple weird glances, but she's like, but I'm glad. And she's like, what you did showed me why I loved you. And then she kisses him.
I was so mad.
Not cool.
I was so mad.
Yeah. All the Sam and Quinn stands out there died.
I died. She's killing my most loyal golden retriever.
It's also like they have such a sweet relationship, and like Finn and Quinn's relationship was definitely more toxic because Quinn was really mean to him, and then all of the other stuff, obviously. But like Sam and Quinn have a really sort of like cute relationship that just like really works. So I'm mad.
I mean, she just like threw out the phrase, showed me why I loved you. And I was like, at what point did we ever learn that she loved him? Ever. She wanted it, like, the only thing we ever knew was that she wanted to be with him because he was the quarterback and she was the cheerleader, and then she wanted to be with him because she thought that he would be a better father. Like, there's no way whatsoever that she thought that we learned at any point that she loved him.
Yeah, it's dicey at best. But before this, though, we end the Sue plot line, though.
Oh, I forgot with Katy Couric.
She's doing a segment on like
Loser
the top
of the year.
Losers of the year, which is really interesting because she lists all the losers that Sue beat, and one of them is Mel Gibson, who had a really awful year in which he was like super anti-Semitic and very sexist, and I was like, Sue beat Mel Gibson? That's amazing.
As well as Dina Lohan and Sparky Lohan.
And Dina Lohan's
maybe
dog.
Also the housing crisis.
Yes.
9% unemployment.
The economy.
The economy.
Everything that was like 2011, you know.
But what if Katy Couric tried to interview the economy? Like, how would she do that?
Though the jokes about unemployment and the economy hit kind of hard.
It's a bit laughable. So laughable. Oh, I'm just laughing. It's
oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, and then so it shows that Katy Couric interviewed with Will Schuester as well for whatever reason. And she's like with a little song and dance, and then Will's like, oh, Sue got what was coming for her, and I'm glad that her funding is going to the Glee Club. We don't have to have a bake sale to afford the bus to regionals.
And then he like looks right into the lens of that interview's camera, and like that's how it ends. And she's just like staring at his face, and then she goes, "I hate you, Diane Sawyer."
If anyone ever talks about the fact that Glee Club doesn't have funding again, I will flip my shit.
Oh, Alyssa, you're going to be flipping your shit a lot.
Oh my god. They now have the CHEERIOS funding? What?
I think the audience should know that whenever Alyssa says Cheerios like that, there's a hand gesture where she flips up both her hands.
I'm really glad I knew that as a fellow listener of Alyssa saying Cheerios.
I am definitely pulling out all the stops with the exclamation point here.
Nice. Because this is a visual medium.
Point.
Exclamation, yeah. Yes, it's a very visual medium.
This episode, I still had a lot of fun, even though we deconstructed the shit out of it.
It was a good time.
It had some really good physical comedy. Like, they almost got there all the way with Sue destroying everything. I really liked when the girls went out on the football field and took their like dance stances. That was good. there were some other things that I can't remember that I laughed at.
Compared to like other episodes, this one went down really smooth.
Yeah.
And like I just didn't have so much to complain about really until we got to this and deconstructed it. Because like there was just something, I don't know, it was just
it felt like
chef's
they
kiss
had
about it.
they had more time to edit. That's what it felt like to
So
me.
apparently this
Interesting.
one had like the highest budget for any after Super Bowl show ever. So maybe they
Really?
just had a lot of money to throw around.
I mean, they did get Katie Couric.
They got Katy
Yeah.
Couric.
She was on the Today Show at that point.
Yeah,
still, I think.
yeah.
You know what they say.
Or maybe she had her own show at that point. I don't
Nate was
remember.
around when she got her own show.
Yeah, so she was probably a hot part of the budget.
Well, if it had the highest budget of any after Super Bowl show, can we logically say it probably had the highest budget of any Glee episode?
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That zombie song probably cost them a lot of money.
I bet. Yeah. Also, the being outside, doing everything outside at night.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to mention. Like the very front, like at the very top of the episode, they're playing football in the middle of the day, and I'm like, I don't think that happens. Normally it's at night. And then I'm like, oh, they couldn't afford 2 night shoots. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting. It could be the most expensive. We could research that and get back to everybody.
I would like that update.
We might.
Give me that update.
Oh
We'll
gosh.
do it for our
No,
top fan.
I don't want to disappoint Anne.
Write it down. I will forget.
Okay, research
Money.
Glee budgets. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
So that was the Sylvester shuffle. We have a lot of ideas for the Gleeboot, like making the football somewhat realistic.
Yeah. Very last note on that being more realistic. Even on the second half, when all of the regular football players come out, the center, who is the person who snaps the ball to the quarterback, is usually like a very large person, and they chose the tiniest person in the world to be the center. So, very last thing. Screw that.
Interesting. I wonder if that was because of the way they angled the camera. They needed to see Finn's face. Having someone smaller was probably better.
Don't even know it. You know what? Just the tiniest person in the world.
Yeah.
That's it.
Interesting.
That's all. Sorry. All right. Football, more realistic, please.
Yeah, and we'll have Sue rampage around 3 times, and we'll have the girls actually do something in football other than flop.
Yes, please. Oh my goodness, yes, please. And can we have like the majority of the episode actually follow the football plotline more than it already does?
I feel like the Sue stuff could be something else, but like we would want to focus on maybe like we could explore Kurt and Blaine, like what's going on with all of that in this episode. I don't know if that would be too much back and forth, but I don't know. That's an idea.
Let's make Kurt and Blaine the next episode.
It might be. Who knows?
The next episode is just Bills, Bills, Bills.
It's the whole song 1,500 times.
Well, do we have to always go, just like logistically speaking, can we separate them? Like, do they have to be in every episode?
Well, I don't know.
Well, Kurt is a
like
series regular.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he has to be in every episode, does it?
It doesn't.
They're not quite as big an ensemble as Game of Thrones, so I don't know.
I mean, if you focus the story on the football, it might be interesting, and you still want to have Kurt and Blaine in there. It might be interesting to do something where, like, maybe the championship game is against Dalton, and so like Kurt has this issue where he's like, which side of the fans
he wants to
am I gonna sit in?
Finn.
Yeah, so like You could do something
Interesting.
like that because
That's really interesting. That's like a loyalties thing with Kurt. I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
it brings a little bit more drama in, and you have that like a parallel struggle almost.
Have a fun
Yeah.
dinner table scene
Mm-hmm.
at the Burton Carroll house. Hummel Hudson.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
so
Hummel Hudson
and then
house.
you get like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Let's
I
just
like
get rid
it.
of the Cheerios.
Yeah.
That's
It's
been
kinda
been
just-
there, done that.
Yeah.
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 Sue's a villain, we get it.
I do love the canon jokes, but yeah. So, I think it is Tina time.
Da, da, da.
Woo!
Tina spoke a grand total of 3 lines.
Wow. Does she get a gold star for also making an okay play? Like, she did a pretty good job on that play.
She gets a gold star for being the only girl who actually wants to play.
Well, Lauren did.
Yeah.
Lauren wanted to play.
Yeah. Wait, did we actually get to see her crush someone? Because
No.
that would have been amazing.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see her tackle people.
Yeah, I did.
She said she wanted to do it. She's a wrestler. That would have been awesome.
I wanted to, yeah, okay, that's definitely in the Gleeboot.
Yeah, utilizing Lauren Zeis's power.
And intimidation techniques.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's quite the character.
She is. I wanted to see the other team cower before her.
Okay, yeah. So now it's time for MVPs and LVPs. Anne, who is your least favorite character this week?
I didn't really think of least favorite character. I guess it. I don't know. I mean, everybody is pretty terrible. Everybody is equally terrible. I mean, I guess it has to be Sue Sylvester for trying to manslaughter a student. Like, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I agree. I wrote Sue, and I wrote for taking advantage of Brittany, but it literally does come down to the fact that like she manipulated her and was like threatening her life. So
Yeah.
thumbs down.
Alyssa?
I'm gonna go with Principal Figgins.
Oh yes.
Because he actually entertains the idea of shooting a student out of a cannon.
As long as they
As a
consent.
principal. Yes, they have to consent. But we all know that students are manipulative.
I think the term
Manipulated?
she's referring to is minors and actually can't like legally do anything
yes,
without their
minors.
parents' consent.
Yes, yeah. And high school students, which are minors, unless you've been held back for a very long time, or you are
Like Puck.
Yeah. Is he a
look
minor?
like 40-year-old. I think so, but he looks like
Okay.
a 40-year-old man, and I have to remind everybody.
Or you're getting your GED for the first time because you dropped out of high school before, in which case, congratulations, you can do whatever you want.
You can shoot yourself out of a cannon.
Yes. But Principal Figgins is a terrible, terrible principal, and he reiterates this once again.
I'm so glad that this has come back. The Allyssa versus Figgins fight.
Principal Figgy Fig. I'm going with Karofsky because not only is he a bully, he's annoying. He's really whiny and is like, he's just so fragile and whiny. And I didn't care when he joined their dance because I'm like, I don't care if this guy like rediscovers his passions. He's like really bad. Like, I wouldn't want him in Glee Club. Makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valid.
Though everyone should have a second chance. I do think that, but I don't know.
I think that's what they were kind of getting to, is that like, oh, like Glee is really getting to him. They're gonna really turn him around, and then obviously that turn at the end where he's like, no,
I reject
Psych.
my second chance.
Yeah. So bummer.
Yeah. All right. Who was your MVP, Anne?
You know, I guess we're gonna stick with the Cheerios, and I'm gonna say Brittany because she faced death. She was a
Yeah.
little timid, but overall, she accepted her fate, and I really appreciate that.
She took one for the team, quite literally.
Almost,
Yeah.
almost. I fully
Almost.
believe she would have stuffed herself in that German-made cannon for the goodwill of the team, and that's why she's my MVP.
Nice. I like it. My MVP is Tina for stepping up and trying to make that play. I kind of would want in the Gleeboot for there to be a girl who joins the team and kicks ass.
Permanently?
Yeah.
Like stays on the team? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Make a
Done.
note. It's done.
It's in the Gleeboot.
Okay, my MVP, I'm gonna go with Finn because I think you really saw him grow in this episode where he's being kind of just like a whiny little, like, not a great leader, you know? At the
Mhm.
beginning of the episode where he blames Karofsky for messing up the game, like, even though Karofsky is a terrible person, that's not what a leader does. You don't blame everything on one person for losing a game. That's just not how it works. And by the end of this episode, he had like freely given up his leading laurels to Sam and decided to go get the cheerleaders and brought I guess inspired them or convinced them to join the Glee club for the sake of the team and Glee and like everything. So I feel like he grew in this episode, and it was an episode where you actually got to see how he grew, like an actual from this to this, which I feel doesn't happen a lot in Glee. So I'm gonna go with Finn.
I'm also going to go with Finn for basically what Allyssa said. I liked his growth. I liked him as a leader, giving stuff up to Sam. I was mad at him when he called Quinn weak, so I almost didn't pick him. But he grew from it, and he was like, I know you're strong enough. And yeah, he's my sweet baby boy, and I'm proud of him growing up into a leader.
Yay.
Yeah, he was my second choice, and then I was like, oh, Tina.
Yeah, I'm glad someone shouted Tina out because I wanted to make sure Tina got her due.
And Brittany, for sure. Like, she definitely did. She was like, all right, I guess I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'll
brave Brittany.
never see Dawson's Creek.
All right, so now is favorite or least favorite song. What was your least favorite song, Anne?
Oh, the Lady Antebellum song. I mean, I just straight out said I'm not really a fan of it. I think it was the wrong time. I think Alyssa, did you say that their duet was actually really incredible? Like they did a really good job together?
Yeah, like their voices go well
Yeah,
together. Yeah,
they were really good together. They had a really good energy, but if you're trying to attract a football team, you don't do a Lady Antebellum song. So I'm gonna just shut that down.
That's a good point. Yeah, I also went with Need You Now. Don't really like the song. I don't really like the cover. I don't like Puck. And I actually really wanted to fast forward through it, but then I saw that like Puck had like tried to like fake lunge at one of the people in the audience, like one of the other football players. I was like, what the fuck? I have to watch this whole thing now. So yeah, I suffered through it and I wasn't happy.
I'm gonna go with that really boring zombie song.
Same.
What's it called again?
She's not there.
She's not there.
Not there. Yeah. It had nothing to do with zombies. And it was just really, really boring, and we had to sit through the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
It was just one big question mark for me.
I was just bored.
Yeah. The only reason it's a question mark is because I was so bored that I drew one in my mind.
Interesting.
Yeah, to occupy. Yeah.
So, favorite songs. And
You know what? Honestly, I actually really liked the Bills song. I thought
Bills,
Nice.
it was
Bills.
very entertaining. I don't know if it's because I haven't watched Glee as much as you guys that like I don't really like have I don't know. I don't really have the same precedence, but like I thought it was entertaining. I thought the energy was fun. I really liked the song. I thought it was just a fun one to throw in the middle of the show.
Literally throw it.
Yeah, honestly, no, there's no reason for that to be there, but I thought it was like a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am actually gonna go with the halftime show number because fucking love that song. It's a banger. And like, I guess like I appreciate all the sort of effort that we obviously didn't see behind the scenes, but I appreciate like the big spectacle of it all for this sort of like championship. I actually did kind of like I said before, I have an affinity for like sports, heartwarming sports movies for some reason, and like it had that moment where like the team comes together to do this, and I kind of like the whole energy of it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
I am also gonna go with the Bill song.
Ew.
Ba-ba-ba.
Because it makes no sense in the context of the episode, but as a single song and performance, it was fun. I was into it. I was singing along. They finally have dancers, so I was also interested in what they were doing. It was fun to watch and fun to listen to and fun to sing to. So going with that.
Nice.
I'm going with Thriller Heads Will Roll. Halloween banger. So much fun. Such a good song. Such a good cover. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's all, folks. It's time to plug our social medias.
Da, da, da.
And do you have any social medias you'd like to share with our fans?
No. Instead, I would like to plug local businesses, support your local businesses, and drink more bourbon.
Nice.
That's it.
Cool.
That's great. You can follow Gleeboot at Gleeboot Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm gonna give the right Tumblr address this time. It is gleebootpod.tumblr.com. I had previously misspoken. Yeah. Or you can probably just go to Tumblr and then search Gleeboot, and we should show up.
How often have you misspoken?
I don't know, and it's probably a lot. I like noticed it when we published an episode this past week, and I was like, "Oh my god, Cullen, it's wrong." And then I was like, "Oh my god, I think I've been saying that on the episodes." So yeah, that's why I made like a separate Instagram highlights for our social media, because I was like, I have fucked it up a few times. I know that. So yeah.
You can find me on YouTube at your boy Ryan, YABOI Ryan. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at your boy Ryan99.
And you can look me up on Instagram, a.m.swearingen, SWEARINGEN. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah. And thank you so much for coming on.
I had a blast. If you guys ever need any more football rants, I'm here.
Yay!
Yay!
We had a blast having you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This
Yes.
was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
Good. Yeah, this was a fun episode to talk about.
Yeah, I think you, like, even though we deconstructed a lot, I think you kind of got lucky with the fact that it was somewhat enjoyable.
It was a
Others
pretty.
have been not so
It goes
much.
down smooth. Yeah, this one was a pretty good one.
Nice.
Nice. So tune in next week for another Glee episode. I don't remember what we're doing next week, but it'll be exciting. Oh, I think it's Valentine's Day in
Oh my
Glee, but-
god.
Yes.
The holidays are
Yes.
all over the place. And like, I don't know, they need a new person to do their timeline.
Yeah. Well, see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.